Midnight music. 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 Midnight music.
It is the Orange Bowl, the
Yep, I know that one.
Rose Bowl.
I know the Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl is the oldest bowl game. Rose Bowl,
Yep.
Orange Bowl. It is the Sugar Bowl down in New Orleans. Been there, great fucking time. And the Fiesta Bowl
Fiesta Bowl. Okay,
Yeah.
I know those three.
So essentially, what happened was they didn't want to screw over the essentially. There's what's known as the New Year's Six Bowls games, which is like the six prestigious bowl games, which all the big teams make. So you have the Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Sugar Bowl. You also have the Cotton Bowl, and then hey Frets, you have the Cotton Bowl, and I forgot what the sixth one is. And it's horrible because I should fucking know this. Like I should know what the New Year's Six are.
So we have Google six prestigious
Just put in New Year's Six bowl games. It'll be a lot easier that way.
bowl games.
I want to say the Peach Bowl is the sixth one.
Okay, we got the Outback Bowl, the Alamo Bowl,
Not
the
those
Liberty
shit.
Bowl,
Not that shit.
the Gator Bowl,
Not that.
the Citrus Bowl.
It's the Citrus Bowl. There it is. Either the Citrus or the Peach.
Yeah, Citrus or Peach, and his son Fenway Bowl, and that thing, it doesn't have a logo on it, so that can't be real.
No, it is. The Fenway Bowl is real. They do a bowl game on Fenway Park. There's also the
That's pretty funny.
Pinstripe Bowl where they do a bowl game in Yankee Stadium.
See, they do like the Sun Bowl. The logo, the words "Tony the Tiger" is bigger than the logo of the Sun Bowl. Just call it the Tony the Tiger Bowl at this point.
I was right. It's not the Citrus Bowl. It is the Peach Bowl. The Peach Bowl is the sixth one. It's the Peach Bowl.
Okay, the New York Six. Yeah,
Rose, orange, sugar,
orange, cotton,
Peach.
peach fiesta.
Yep, that's what it is. New Year's Six. There he goes. So what happened when they were making the playoffs is they didn't want to take away from the bowl games. The bowl games have a lot of clout and a lot of money with that as well. So they're like, okay, we're gonna do for about 10 or so years a 4-team playoff. Okay, and we rotate between the New Year's Six bowl games as to what is the semifinal matches. So between the New Year's Six, 2 of them per year would be a college football playoff semifinal. And it would rotate like that because towards the end of the BCS era, they were like, hey, let's stop using a bowl game as the also national championship game. Let's just create the national championship game, which I don't know. I don't know why it took them 100+ years to be like, hey, let's just create a game called the national championship and stop using bowl games to figure this out.
Maybe they paid McKinsey $2 million.
Who played McKinsey?
And they were like, hey.
So the only problem with that, they're like, okay, we'll have a selection committee, kind of like what they do for the NCAA March Madness tournament. You get a selection committee, you pick the 4 best teams, blah, 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 based on records, conference championships, so on and so forth. Yeah. The only problem was when you have what's known as like the Power 5 conferences, the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the Pac-12, and the ACC, there's always going to be one of the major conferences left out of the playoffs, and that always pissed everybody off. Because they're like, this doesn't make sense. We're one of the 5 best conferences, and our conference champion doesn't even get a shot. Hey, Charles. Doesn't even get a shot at the playoffs. Like, this is effed up. Which caused a lot of controversy for a very, very long time, especially this past year. And so eventually they were like, all right, we need to expand the playoffs. Because also the playoff system was making a boat ton of money. And they're like,
yeah, of course.
It was making a boat ton.
People love college football.
Yeah, college football is amazing. That game is ridiculous. People are making like they were making a boat ton of money off of just a 4-team playoff. And so what they decided to do was like, okay, they did it like traditional play. Like, we want to keep the foundation of the 4-team playoff and reward the top 4 conference champions. They get a first round bye. And then you add in like, you know, essentially all the conference champions get in from the major conferences, as well as the top non-Power 5 conference champion gets a shot. So like one of your Boise State or like your New Mexico State or some shit like that. If they have a really good year and they're the best of the non-Power 5 conference champions, they'll get a bid and they'll get seated appropriately. And then everybody else is like an at-large bid. So what happens now is that the quarterfinals and the semifinals are made up of New Year's Six bowl games. So all of those bowl games that we just talked about make up the quarters and the semis every year.
That's pretty awesome.
In a rotating basis. And so
yeah.
And then it's done by location. So the higher seeded team, let's say Alabama is the number 1 and they're number 1 seed, and so they will go to a bowl game in the quarterfinals that's closest to their location. So it's preference to the higher seeded team.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the 12-team playoff, it's going to be a grind now, but now it expands. So like bowl season is like a whole month of December. So now the playoffs will be the entire month of December, and the championship game will be like the beginning of July. The beginning of January, my fault.
January.
Yeah.
And then it's literally.
And then a month later is the Super Bowl.
Yeah, NFL. Yeah, and then it kicks off the NFL playoffs and then the Super Bowl.
Yep, it all ties in.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I was like, finally, we get a real playoff. So what happens is, so the quarters and the semis will be at the bowl sides, and then the opening round matchups essentially will be at the higher seeded team's home.
Yeah.
So the opening rounds are home games for a higher seeded team, which will make things ridiculously interesting.
Yeah, football season really is the best for the weekends.
Oh yeah. Oh my
because
god.
it's all they say, and they all play on Saturday too.
Yeah, and the first game started like 11 or noon.
Yeah, and it goes into the night game.
Yeah,
it's all day.
Yeah,
all day.
Like the West Coast game started at 11 at night. Yeah. Fall's like my favorite time of the year. But yeah, so I have a dynasty. I have an offline dynasty. I have an online dynasty on Xbox, and I have an online dynasty with Charles on PlayStation 5.
Jeez.
Yeah. And,
good lord.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So there's also.
I also saw that you'll be able to port your player into Madden.
Your Road to Glory player, yeah, you can port him in.
Yeah, once he goes pro, which I think is pretty cool.
They were able to do that before.
I wonder what a 99, because you don't want to come in as a 99, right? I wonder what like a 99 in college is equivalent.
You'll probably get downgraded to something. I don't know.
Like 70, like 73.
Something like that. I haven't tried Road to Glory,
That's what they should do. That's what they should do.
They what was it? They I've been seeing a lot of people talk about like Road to Glory. So essentially what you do is that you pick what type of recruit you are. So before in the old games, you used to be able to play through a high school season and get like your stats up and see who recruits you. But now they like
that's how sports games work.
Yeah. But now we're like skip all that. We're just gonna go straight to college. So you get to pick. You can be like a blue chip. You can be a 5-star recruit or like a 2-star recruit. And like your 5-star, your blue chip recruit is like a 79 is the highest. So you still have to like work your way up to be like an 80 or a 99 in college. But once you get there, you have to like, they made it very RPG. So like you have to like go to practice. You have to make decisions like, do you go to class? Do you not go to class? Do you stay up and party? Do you hang out with friends? Do you go to the weight room?
That's so like, that's so extra. I'm fucking for it.
Like there was somebody took a video of them. They're like, and you get like a phone, so you always get text on your phone. So there was one that was like, guy was like, hey, we should really go. Like, hey, you want to drive to class together? I know it's 6 a.m., but we got to get this done. And you have a choice where like, do you want to go to class? And like, if you go to class, your GPA will stay up because they go by the NCAA rules. Like, you need if you fall below a 2.0, you cannot play in a game. And so they put that in the game. Yeah.
So fucking funny. It's so funny. It's like, bro, I'm not here for fucking school. Stop pretending. Stop pretending. We're all here for the money. Let me play for the money. Fuck your class.
There was somebody who did a screenshot of some girl that was like, hey, I've seen you around class before. It was like, the scenario was like, it's this girl you've been eyeing for a while, and she finally like, she hits you up and like, she wants to go to a party with you, and your response is like, respond casually, respond like anxiously, or whatever. And so the guy responded like anxiously, like really like upset, and she was like, lose my number.
Damn. Wow. With all the hype I know it's not available for PC, but if it was, I'd probably be playing it. I haven't played a football game in at least 15 years.
I've seen people online on Xbox and PlayStation that haven't been online in a long time that are playing this game. Like,
yeah, of course.
Like,
yeah, it's college football.
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. Oh shit, it's almost 8:10. All right. But no, it's crazy. What's crazier is they had so much fun putting in random recruit names.
I bet.
It's like people have found great ones, like ones like Major Cheeks. I usually use like DJ Khaled. They had like someone say like someone's like Joe Biden. There's a bunch of random like names that they used.
Rusty Star Cheeks. That would be mine.
No, these are like the computer generated names.
Yeah, Rusty Star Cheeks. That's what I would generate. If I was a computer, that's what I would generate. Rusty Star Cheeks.
Oh my god, it would have been. It's absolutely amazing.
And of course, Ringa and Dinga the Durgan.
Ringa and Dinga the Durgan. Yeah. No, it's great to know. No, that game is great. It's the only thing keeping me from playing Modern Warfare 3, which is now on Game Pass.
Yeah. I gave up on Call. Actually, no. The last Call of Duty I bought was the Modern Warfare reboot from like 2020.
I'm a big Modern Warfare fan, so that's why I'm excited to just play like the story.
I mean, I get it, but the MW, I think was the newest one.
Modern
MW
Warfare
2 or
3. It was 3.
3. So yeah, the campaign's like 2 hours long. They half-assed They quarter-assed the campaign this time around.
Oh, that's a shame.
Because the whole thing's like 2 hours because they just put all their money towards
Multiplayer.
Warzone specifically.
Well, yeah, Warzone's free, so they have to do something.
They're Warzone seasons. So Call of Duty has just turned into Warzone with quarter-assed campaign and half-assed regular multiplayer. Which part of me is just like, hey man, I get follow the money. People want to play Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with you, man. I always like the Call of Duty stories, and the Call of Duty 4 reboot from 2020 had a fucking excellent campaign.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing as a little kid, you gotta like stab someone and avoid the gas. You watch your mother get killed right in front of you. It's just like in some made up Middle Eastern like Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Made up country. It's fucking wild. The game was incredible.
It was absolutely wild. They
one thing it was missing was zombies.
Yeah, they brought zombies back for 3.
I know it's Black Ops. That's Black Ops.
No, they brought zombies back for Modern Warfare 3.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, OG Zombies was the shit.
Did you see they added in the new season of Modern Warfare, they added Rey Mysterio, Cody, and Rhea?
I did. I saw the memes. Also, what the fuck is Joe Burrow doing looking like Cody Rhodes?
I don't know, dude. I saw it. And Cody Rhodes was like, that's nice. I like it.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes was just like, yeah, uh-huh. Good job. Psycho.
I want
because like it looked like he didn't look like Cody Rhodes. He looked like Dustin trying to be Cody Rhodes.
I want Joe Burrow to come out every home game in Cody's gear. Like I want him to do the full Cody Rhodes entrance.
Yeah, I want the Bengals just to come out. Adrenaline in my soul. We're about to play football.
The whole team does a whoa and pyro goes everywhere.
Dude, I'd be a Bengals fan.
I'd be like, this is my favorite team of all time.
I don't know how much money they have to pay WWE for it, but it's fucking worth it.
Oh, that would be absolutely amazing. All right, you ready to get the show on the road?
Adrenaline in my soul.
Sounds like a yes.
I won't play for Buffalo.
Homelander Joe Burrow versus Tribal Chief Patrick Mahomes.
Homelander Joe Burrow. Damn, do we want a whole pre-show? We didn't even mention Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Oh, we can talk about it on the post show because
Yeah, we'll do that in the post show or fucking Robert Downey Jr. Which
amazing, chef's kiss.
I'm excited to dig in with you.
Oh yeah, I talked all about because I already saw Deadpool. I'm gonna see it again this week too as well.
I haven't seen Deadpool, but I'm excited to nerd out. All right, I'm gonna start the music. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Midnight music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, I really hope you missed us because we are back with a little bit of vengeance and a lot of heat for the biggest party of the summer. SummerSlam is this weekend in the most mid place in all of the United States, Cleveland, Ohio. So we're going to try to make the best out of it and not really talk about the location or the fact that the Cleveland Browns play there at all. So ladies and gentlemen, it is summer in the land. It's our SummerSlam preview show this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, exclusively on Wrestle Addict Radio, and it starts right now.
Midnight.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Having off 2 weeks to play a video game that I have not played in over a decade was well worth it. The only time I actually had to leave my house, to be honest with you, was I had a birthday party to go to the weekend that it actually came out. So neither here nor there. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kings of the Rings podcast, exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio. We are coming to you live from not from Twitter anymore, Facebook for the first time in a while, Twitch and YouTube, because Twitter locked us out, and Twitter's money hungry because Elon made a bad investment. I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. Thank you guys for joining us. If you like what you're listening to or what you are seeing right now, please leave a like, leave a comment, share, subscribe, leave us all the fun little reviews that you can. It's been a pretty interesting couple of weeks in the world of wrestling, particularly WWE. We've got a lot to talk about, but back again for, I guess, the umpteenth time, a man who also has a weird obsession with couches, Mr. Will Tarashak. How are you?
Dude, I don't know what it is. I do need a really comfortable couch, but I am a firm believer that every man needs a chair to call his own.
That is absolutely correct, sir.
I haven't sat in mine almost a year, but I haven't thrown it out either. So just keep that in mind, because we don't hang out in our living room anymore, but the chair is never going to be thrown out. I had that chair for $50 off Facebook Marketplace. I've had it for 4 years. It's not going anywhere.
Listen, every man needs a throne of some sort in some way, shape, or form. I'm a firm believer of that. My dad had a chair.
Yep.
My dad had his own chair in the living room. It's the only chair he sat in. It's great. It's
called the Archie Bunker chair. It's because he was known for, no one sits in his chair. Every man has his throne, his chair. It's his seat. It could be at the head of the table at dinner. It can be the fucking toilet. But I don't know. Every man has a chair that he calls his own that no one touches.
Yeah, sometimes the toilet is a great chair. Get a lot of reading done in the toilet, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot of scrolling through Facebook.
Yeah, a lot of depth scrolling. You got to pass the time somehow, right? Shout out to Squatty Potty.
Well, it's not being done on Twitter. That's for sure.
No, definitely not anymore, you money-hungry bastards. We've got some fun things to go through. A lot of it is going to be focused on SummerSlam and one of the earliest SummerSlams ever in recent history. But we're doing that because we're going to Berlin. Like 6 days after
that's
All
a good
In.
Point.
Yeah, it is one of the earlier SummerSlams that they usually have. But when you double up on shows in 1 month, this is kind of what happens. But before we get to all that, let's talk about some things going on in the world of pro wrestling, particularly WWE. So Nick Khan and Triple H were in London because apparently they didn't get invited to the Paris opening ceremony. And they were in London meeting with government officials talking about, surprise, surprise, bringing a WrestleMania to London, just kind of like John Cena predicted over a year ago. Yeah. This is kind of big news. They made this very, very public that this is something that they are trying to actually move forward and do, after we kind of hinted that it was coming from last year when John Cena showed up randomly. And this seems like this is a really, really big possibility. So my question for you, Will, is how long do we have to wait till we get the first ever overseas WrestleMania?
Well, you already have the next two booked already?
We have
much?
Vegas,
and then
nothing else is set in stone. We don't know when to get it, when Indianapolis is getting it.
Right, because Indianapolis got SummerSlam instead.
No, Minnesota has SummerSlam, and Indianapolis.
Minnesota has SummerSlam.
Indianapolis has the Rumble next year.
Has the Rumble. Doesn't Indianapolis have 3?
They have, they're guaranteed a Mania, a SummerSlam, and the Rumble.
Okay, so at some point they're going to get a WrestleMania.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so my guess is London will happen at WrestleMania 45. I think it's still going to be a few years. Because they probably have other plans in the works. I have no idea. I wonder. I would love to know how far out they book like WrestleMania cities. And then start booking the show, because how long it takes to marketing and all that kind of stuff. But even it's the fucking logo, right? And getting all that marketing material ready. Mm-hmm. It's got to take at least a year and change.
Yeah, I mean, during the pandemic is when they book like 3 years out.
They booked 3 years out.
Yeah, but that was only for the pandemic. Like, we're going here, here, and here. I think that was just to kind of like create hype, and they kind of like, went to some of the oldies but goodies like Dallas and whatnot, and they had time to set things
that right around the time of the no audience mania.
Something like it was either a no audience mania or the actual Tampa mania.
Yeah, or it could have been the actual Tampa area. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah,
it might have been the actual Tampa mania.
It was one of those.
21.
Yeah. So what we know for next year is that you have Rumbles in Indianapolis and SummerSlam's going to be in Minnesota. No, so Minnesota SummerSlam, my fault, is 2026. We only know Minneapolis, not Indiana has the Rumble. So I doubt they'll do 2025 Mania in London.
Yeah.
Fred thinks 2027. I think that could be
That sounds
enough.
reasonable.
That sounds
Yeah.
reasonable to set it up and get it done. It also gives them a lot of time to do a lot of research because if we're being frank, AEW is doing all of this for them. All WWE has to do is sit back and watch what AEW does and be like, okay, this is what they did. We can probably do it better. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
They're going to start scouting.
Yeah.
They're going to send some scouts in.
Yep.
I mean, it's totally possible but also you guys wonder if AEW, what kind of contract they have with Wembley. Because
that could be the reason they went over there too.
Other than Wembley, where could they do a WrestleMania? What's big enough for a WrestleMania?
You can't do VO2. You do your Raws and SmackDowns and everything there.
Yeah, you do the Raws and SmackDowns. So you need a soccer stadium. You need a stadium.
Yeah.
WrestleMania can't be in an arena. It has to be a stadium.
It's got to be Wembley. I think it has to be Wembley. But when I think about it from a business perspective, I don't see a real conflict there because All In is in August and WrestleMania is in April.
True, but Vince had a no compete with the Garden for decades.
Yeah.
No other wrestling promotion could book the Garden. Period.
Yeah.
So I'm saying contracts can just be finicky like that, and if you're petty enough and throw enough money at it, anything can happen.
It's possible, but
and I think
Tony
Khan is both of those things. And when it comes to giving jabs, Tony Khan would pay an extra $10 million to make sure WWE can't run Wembley. Put it that way.
Yeah, I just don't think Tony Khan's that forward thinking.
I think he is that petty, though.
I mean, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, I think he is that petty, but I don't think he has the brains to kind of think that far ahead.
Yeah, and then if you're Wembley, you go, okay, as soon as this deal is over, we are never signing you again.
Yeah, we're gonna get the other guys.
We're gonna go with the A team.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a few years regardless.
Yeah.
But it's because it's this logistics, right? WWE has done this 40 times in the States. It's pretty much copy and paste, maybe some local regulations you got to accommodate, like pyro.
Yeah.
Right, pyro, security staff. All hotels, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It could just take longer to do accommodations with London lawyers, pretty much.
Yeah, you gotta go through the legalese and all of that stuff too. Yeah. But they're set up for people forget. NXT Europe was based in the UK. WWE has global offices in the UK.
Yeah.
The
audience is 1,000% there too.
Yeah, and the audience is there too. And plus, Afternoon Mania, Saturday, Sunday, I'm in.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. 2 o'clock WrestleMania. I get to wake up at 10:30, just relax for a few hours, order some pizza, and watch wrestling, and then still have my evening.
Yeah,
bruh.
Yeah, I'm all for this. I mean, in London, London deserves it. They got the crowd for it. It would be a crazy time. Like, when you look at AEW and what they've done for All In, they did it once before. I was kind of disappointed. I feel like they didn't use enough of a city, and me and you will have been to enough WrestleManias where when WWE comes to town, it's like when we were in Philly,
everywhere.
It's not Philly, it's WWE featuring Philadelphia,
Yeah, especially because WWE does a good job of centralizing everything.
Yeah.
So all of the fans are together.
Correct.
Always. So if we went 15, 20 minutes down the road, it would have been Philadelphia. It would have very much been Philadelphia. But for where we were as a fan, that's what also made it super special because every diehard wrestling fan has a love-hate relationship with other fans.
Correct.
So it was, it's WWE just knows what they're doing in that aspect. New York was very similar, other than access.
Yeah, because they screwed up Javits, or Javits had something going on.
Yeah, it had to be in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But even so, they had the shuttle, and it was easy enough to get from there to the Barclays.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it was perfect. It's perfect.
And the WrestleMania was in New Jersey, so I guess that was a little spread out. That's not looking you really did.
You do what you can. You do what you can. So this is happening. This is going to happen probably sooner rather than later, and I'd be pumped for it. I'm not traveling for it, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, I honestly, I was just thinking this as we were talking. I think I would rather see the production scale on TV first. I want to see the video packages. I want to experience it as a viewer and not so much as an in-person fan.
Yeah,
I think I'll enjoy it more watching it.
Don't get me wrong. I've been to London. I love that city. I would love to go back. It's also great. It's also well done in Watch Dogs Legion too as well. But I can sit this Mania out. Like, Just travel.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in no rush to go to London.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm just not like, let's fucking go to London.
No, it would disorient me for a while being on the left side of the road and all that too.
Yeah, I wouldn't drive. You're kidding me. I'm a menace on American roads.
It's very, very true. So yes, WrestleMania London happening probably very, very soon. And now over to AEW in a perfect example of, hey, copy our xenophobic gimmick and just change the answers a little bit. MJF has rebranded the International Championship.
No, it's the Intercontinental.
He all right, so first it was the All Atlantic. Remember that? It was the All Atlantic,
the All Atlantic
with the Japan flag. Do you remember that? The All Atlantic with the Japan
Oh my god, you're right. I forgot the Japan flag was on it.
Yeah, it was the All Atlantic with the Japan flag. And then it went to the International Championship because they just don't want to say Intercontinental. And now
they can't.
Yeah. And Will Ospreay had the International Champions for a while. He had the good match with Swerve, blah, blah, blah. MJF beat Will Ospreay in an hour-long match on Dynamite, mind you. Okay.
Ballsy.
Yeah. An hour-long match on Dynamite. And MJF has decided that he is so ridiculously pro-America, which I'm not surprised by this, because I feel like that's exactly who he is as a person, and decided to rebrand the international title to the AEW American Championship and make it unbelievably American out.
Dude, they are this close to making MJF a Trump supporter on TV.
So close. Like, did he approve his gimmick with Zeb Coulter at all? Like,
dude, they should do it. They should do it. I think that'd be fucking hilarious, and it would honestly.
He'd be the guy to do it.
He would. Like, 'cause you know how Colby Covington did it for the UFC.
Yes,
So
it's
it'll
not
be the
really
exact
him,
same.
but that's like how he feels.
Colby Covington is that guy.
Yeah.
It's a character, but it's also like a very accurate characterization of him.
Yeah.
But MJF, I'm also very much would believe that MJF is a Trump supporter in real life. I would not doubt that for a single second.
Yeah.
So I think that would be fucking hilarious. But Tony Khan would never do it. But it would bring so much attention. Think of the memes. Think of the fucking memes that would come out of this. He just made it to the American title. That's such a Republican thing to do.
Yeah.
Get this goddamn international bogus out of here. They're taking our jobs. America. Like,
I hate this title. Not because they keep changing the name, because I think that's hysterical that AEW can keep a freaking title the same name for long.
I mean, it's a great looking belt.
I hate
incredible.
the design of the belt. I think it's disgusting. I
mean, as much as I love America and I can't go for some good old fashioned pro America propaganda every now and then. This one just hits for me. It's a great looking belt. It's a stupid title and a dumb idea, but it's a great looking belt. It's a great looking belt.
I hope this is just a temporary thing.
I might buy it, to be honest.
You would.
Let me look.
You would.
AEW shop.
I doubt it's there.
Let me say AEW American title purchase.
It's probably not. AEW's not good with mass producing belts.
Yeah. Okay. AEW shop. Oh God, they better have it like immediately.
No, it's not there.
No, this is the AEW belt. Honestly, the AEW belt itself was also a very pretty belt.
The AEW Championship.
$800.
Yeah, like I want to get it, but it's like $800. Like, do I want to spend $800 on this belt? Like, I bet you the quality's fantastic.
No. Yeah, I mean, but it looks incredible. I mean, AEW has great looking belts.
They have good belt designs. Yeah, they do.
They do have really good belt designs.
I don't know how this is. You know what's really bad? I just thought of this.
Dude, AEW heels are still on their AEWshop.com.
There is no difference in character at this point between MJF and Logan Paul, and they're both essentially representing America as the United States champion and the American champion. They're literally almost playing the same character at this point.
Kind of, but Logan Paul is more online, right? He's the social media influencer heel character.
Correct.
MJF isn't a social media influencer. He's a fucking mark.
Yeah.
And I kind of mean that as a compliment.
Yeah. But I just want the similarity. They're both they're very extremely pro-America with this. But I can't get behind this belt. I don't, you know what it is for me? It's the red, white, and blue stripes. It's like the flag as the thing behind it. Like, it's so ridiculous, which kind of makes it work for a heel.
Yeah, okay. They have the TNT Championship belt, the Tag Team Championship belt, and the AEW Championship belt. That's all
Yeah,
I got.
they
These
they
fucking
they're not
idiots.
doing well with mass producing replica belts at all.
Yeah. What up, Smiley?
Hey, Smiley. Smiley broke some news. We're gonna sidebar real quick. Smiley broke some news to me about Val Venus. Did you hear
Oh,
about this?
is his PP still there? He didn't get choppy
Surprisingly,
choppy.
no. So listen to this shit. This literally happened today before we recorded. So Val Venus apparently anti-LGBTQ, whatever. You kind of figured this out with Val Venus if you've seen anything from him. So he made some
That's upsetting.
he made some very disparaging remarks about Nyla Rose.
Oh, so is it specifically the transgender people?
Yeah. He made some disparaging comments about Nyla Rose recently, and so you know how they got back at him? Some people took the Val Venus trademark.
No way.
Yeah.
They bought the
They
trademark.
bought the trademark because it wasn't being used. So he can't use it.
Oh my god.
Not only that, there are some people who created a Val Venus.
Make him a drag star character right now. Someone use the name and make him a drag.
So they took valvenus.com and had it redirect to like a LGBTQ like organization as well.
That's pretty funny.
So Val Venus is big mad. Like fucking
Let's
big
see.
mad.
Valvenus.com.
Venus, valvenus.com. I don't know if the redirect got taken down or whatever, but I know someone bought the trademark to Val Venus, so now he can't use it.
That's fucking Valvenus.com. Oh my god, it's even better.
What is it?
It's okay, dude. I gotta send you the link.
Okay.
you have to. I'll put it in the Discord for all of us to see.
Yeah, let me put it in the Discord.
I'll put it the rest of Addicts chat.
Okay.
This is you're all welcome.
Oh, it is. I mean, with the transgender flag.
The trans flag. Val Venus.
Yes.
Our mission to support the LGBTQ plus community. So
It's,
it goes to the Trevor Project, Advocates for Trans Equality, other useful links, shop, and useful support.
would go to the bottom. So they put acronyms for his name. Valued
allies of LGBTQ plus vital educational and non-judgmental informational service. Val Venus. Dude, they say the left can't meme, but this is world class right here. This is incredible.
Oh, the internet, folks, is undefeated, and I love everything about that.
Dear God, if you're listening to this, I implore you, go to valvenus.com. I'll even put it in the chat right now. Go to valvenus.com.
And he can't even use his name
fun.
anymore.
And he can't use it. I would keep that trademark forever.
Oh, it's so. It is.
Oh my God. Excellent trolling. Excellent. Fucking excellent. Where's my applause?
Yeah,
button?
give that an applause, please. And thank you, Smiley, for dropping that information. It's one of the one things today that unified WWE and AEW tribal fans. It's really freaking hysterical.
Amazing. Amazing.
Listen, wrestling brings people together, and so does the hatred of Val Venus, apparently.
Hello, ladies.
Oh, what a time. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. So, moving past Val Venus and MJF, we finally have, because I've been watching the Olympics like a mofo on my downtime and not when I'm not playing college football. We do have a start date for when SmackDown leaves Fox and shows up on USA Network. It's actually going to be in September. Ironically, in the weirdest idea possible.
What is it? Is it 9/11? Is that what's happening?
No, it's Friday. No, it's Friday the 13th.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like SmackDown is lead because remember their deal was up in October, so it looks like they're just jumping ship a little bit early. So for a period of time, starting September 13th, or that week of September 13th, we are going to have Raw and SmackDown on the same network for the rest of the year. So from September to December, Raw and SmackDown are on the same network. So no more jumping to Fox, which is a shame. But
Shucks. I still watch it all in Hulu.
you know what it is about the Fox run? The Fox run had the potential to be really, really good, and you can tell by how much Fox invested in it. Like Fox was really all in on it for
Yeah, WWE didn't deliver. Like the reason
it's the pandemic.
which
I
is
think the
crazy,
pandemic screwed them over.
Kind of, sort of, but Fox did everything they could. Like
Yeah.
if this deal is considered a failure, it is no failure on Fox.
Fox tried
which
their
is crazy to say. Yeah, which is crazy to say because WWE did crazy business, had the merger, had like a $2 billion. That was $1 billion deal was to leave Fox.
Yeah.
But like business was so crazy, but Fox was just like, yeah, but for all that we put into you, it should have been crazier.
Yeah, and
which is an accurate statement because the ratings weren't there.
Yeah, which is a shame because like I said, I think the like not have because remember like they went live like mid 2019 on Fox.
Yeah, October 19.
October 2019, and then within 6 months, the world shut down, and it kind of put a damper on things. But like when you look at Fox and you watch like sports on Fox, you had NFL announcers, college football announcers talking about like advertising WWE. Any chance they got, like they put in a lot of effort. It's just a shame that it ended the way it did because like Fox on primetime, it's that depth slot though. It's primetime on a Friday.
It's Friday night.
Yeah.
No one watches. No one's home Friday night. Well, no one in that key demo,
Correct.
is usually home on a Friday night.
Correct. But we'll see what happens with USA. USA has been handling WWE for a very, very long time. So we'll see what they do with SmackDown and Raw, both on their networks for NXT probably. I think all three might be on the USA Network for a period of time before the all the deals move around
for Q4. Oh,
yeah. NBC and USA Network on Q4 are gonna go freaking bananas after they have like the Olympics in Q3. It's gonna be freaking wild, absolutely wild. But moving on to that, folks, it's time to talk about the biggest party of the summer happening really, really freaking early, and like I said, probably one of the most mid places in all of America, Cleveland, Ohio, especially because LeBron is not there and The Miz is not there, although The Miz is going to be returning to host SummerSlam, which I guess they had to give him something to do because they are in Ohio in Cleveland Brown Stadium. So SummerSlam is going to be this Saturday, 7 Eastern. Are going to have pre-shows, all that stuff going on. It's going to be a pretty interesting card. I still have valvenus.com up on my computer. It's so funny. Smiley just joined our Discord, by the way. Thank you, Smiley.
I saw that. Hell yeah, Smiley.
Yeah. So we have that going on, and of course we have a bunch of festivities leading around SummerSlam weekend, particularly the SummerSlam store, which the merchandise, as you can see here, is almost as mid as the city of Cleveland itself. To be completely honest with you, they're really trying to go with like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame theme, which I mean, kudos to them. But it's going to be open starting this Thursday and going through till Sunday.
Twitch people go, oh yeah, that exists.
What, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's in Cleveland. Why is it in Cleveland?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Well, why is the Baseball Hall of Fame in fucking Cooperstown?
That's true.
It's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, thank God. But it is literally in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, Ohio does have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they have the Football Hall of Fame, too, which is kind of dope. Canton, Ohio is there as well. But, you just got to go through Ohio to do it, It's like the Nebraska of the eastern part of east of the Mississippi, pretty much is Ohio. Being completely honest. But we have the Superstore, and also, which seems to be a very interesting thing, they're having a Damian Priest live event. Essentially, they're going to be showing Damian Priest 24 at probably a local theater or something, and they're going to have a panel for the after show. So I believe his 24 is probably coming out this week. I don't know the exact date. But This is interesting that they're doing that. This is a very Comic-Con-esque type thing that they're doing, and it would be a shame for him to lose this week if you're investing all of this in him, unless this becomes something that's very, very gimmicked, like Gunther shows up and ruins the whole thing. You know what I mean?
God, that would be remarkable. There'd be no point though, because you don't need it. It doesn't. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna do anything for the match.
It's interesting. WWE is really beefing up their like different stuff. Like Sami Zayn had a comedy show, The Undertaker has his Dead Man tour, and now you're having Damian Priest do his little Comic-Con-y panel after the viewing of his thing. I'm excited for his 24. I think it's gonna be interesting and pretty revealing. What do you think of his 24?
I hope I like it because I'm probably dude, all the 24s are really
Yeah.
good. Like I want to be a Damian Priest fan. I want to get on this this marketing push that they are putting into him. But I don't know. Something about it is just like, eh.
Well,
I think once a Judgment Day turns on, because here's the thing, they want him to be a babyface, but he's still kind of heelish on TV, right? He needs to give me a reason. You need to give me a reason to cheer for him, other than just like, hey, like this guy, he's a babyface. Like you gotta give me a reason to cheer. So this 24 is a good step towards that direction, and I think a massive heel turn by Finn Balor and screwing over both him and Rhea Ripley makes them both massive baby faces.
Yeah, I think that's the
fall.
issue too, as well as that Judgment Day is half babyface, half heels, and then you have Carlito.
It's like they're known as a heel group with two of the biggest baby faces just waiting for their breakout moment as baby faces. Yeah. And you got to give it to us. They got to stop doing this half-ass thing. Like Priest promos have been okay. His storylines have been pretty solid, but he's also been kind of overshadowed by Money in the Bank, then Seth Rollins.
Then Rhea came back.
And then that stupid wager, and then he didn't kick out, and
yeah.
He's had a lot of bad luck in his title run.
Yeah. There's still a lot of positives there too, but it's just like there's a lot of Raw is wrapped into Judgment Day.
Yes.
And
Judgment Day still rules Raw.
Yeah, which I mean as a faction that's a great thing, but there's a lot all of those storylines are kind of clashing with each other, and I think that's the idea. But at some point, you have to start separating them and kind of like untangling this web. Yeah,
this is where it happens because Rhea and Liv.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that.
That is other than Cody, obviously. If Cody wasn't facing up against Solo and if Cody wasn't with the Bloodline, I could see Rhea and Liv main eventing. Honestly,
absolutely.
Like it's a very believable main event. It's something I want to see. It's something the internet is very much talking about, and you have that what's gonna happen question.
Yes,
all over that.
Oh
match.
Yes.
With this match, it's with Damian Priest.
It's really interesting. So there's about 5 championship matches on this card so far.
Yeah, it's a great 5
card. Championship matches.
Don't get me wrong. It's a phenomenal card.
5 championship matches and 2 pretty much marquee matches. Like it's built beautifully. Beautifully built with everybody, with everything. So let's go into the first one. Obviously, we have Solo Sikoa, who just looks like a demonic version of the Weekend each and every week, versus Cody Rhodes. Solo pinned Cody at the last PLE. Solo and the Bloodline 2.0 have been beating the crap out of everybody around Cody. For the last couple of weeks, they're the #1 contenders for DIY's tag team titles as well. They are doing their damnedest to make the Bloodline 2.0 dominant, and really, it's kind of working. Especially because Jacob Fatu is out of his flipping mind every week.
It's so good.
Out of his flipping mind. Tonga Loa now has an eye patch now, which I think is freaking hysterical.
Amazing. He got LASIK.
Did he? I was just saying, I don't know. In one eye. In one eye.
Well, you can have astigmatism in
That's
one
true.
eye, right? Like my left eye is way worse than my right
Fair
eye.
Enough.
Like I have a small astigmatism in my right, but a huge one on my left. So fuck me, I guess. But Jacob Fatu, he's so believable because Corey Graves does a so good job of just like, oh my God, this guy is dead. Someone get the police. Like, he does a very good job of putting him over, as does Wade Barrett. So it's Bloodline. People are kind of poo-pooing on Bloodline 2.0 a little bit. I think it's excellent. I really do think it's excellent. Solo, I remember on this podcast last year, I was like, what happens to Solo after this Bloodline story wraps up? Like, he's got nothing. And then, well, fuck me, I guess. I was way wrong.
Yeah.
He's just taken it and run with it, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
But does he get the title?
Oh, hell no. Not yet. Not yet.
Well, we got to answer one of 2 questions. Question number 1 is, with Roman coming back eventually in this Bloodline Civil War that's going to happen, does that need the title?
I would say no.
I would also say no. But then there's question number 2. You still set up Cody and Rock. Is that still something that is possible? Because I know Dwayne got injured on his movie set, and who knows his schedule.
Dwayne got injured. Surprise, surprise, right?
Right. So if it's funny, he got injured after his wrestling run.
Thank God.
He goes back. He goes back to the more fake thing of movie stunts,
and hurts himself.
and he hurts himself. So, but anyway, like if that match can't happen, what is Cody really still holding the belt for, other than the fact that he's just still hugely over, and who are you going to build to take it off of him? I think Solo makes sense. If the answer to Dwayne is no, he's not going to be able to do it at all, then the answer to the bloodline need the title could easily be a yes.
Yeah.
Because Roman's just like, could easily has come back and could do also one of 2 things. He could let Solo lose and then spear him, or spear him and make him lose, one or the other.
That's true.
Because Solo's whole claim to fame is the bloodline doesn't tolerate losers. Roman, you lost.
Yeah.
And Roman can come back and be like, hey, Solo, you lost.
Yeah. So it comes to this very interesting question, too, and it's one of our bonus questions for this week. Do we see Roman come back at SummerSlam?
I think so.
You
know why? Because he came back at SummerSlam in 2020.
Oh, okay. Little symmetry, little mirroring.
Yeah. And here's the thing. That was the debut of a brand new Roman Reigns character as the biggest heel in the business, maybe possibly ever. SummerSlam 2024, he debuts back as one of the biggest baby faces that Vince McMahon's boner always wanted. It's just they come out and you just go, oh, this is a different Roman Reigns. And I think that symmetry between SummerSlams is a perfect place to do it.
He comes out dressed as The Rock during the Survivor Series debut.
Oh my God, it's actually The Miz.
Yeah. So the other...
But no, Triple H loves his Easter eggs, right? And that's one of them.
Yeah, that's a valid point. The other question is, then, what is more important to Roman? Is it getting the title back, or is it getting control of the bloodline? Roman's story, especially after WrestleMania, was all about choices and consequences to those choices. So he has to make a choice. Does he want the title? Is the title more important than being the tribal chief?
I think they're one and the same. Because you're the head of the table, you're the head of the family.
Correct.
That is symbolized as the one who is providing, right? That's his whole thing.
And it's also he needed to be the champion so he can provide for everybody else, though.
Exactly. So that is everything the title symbolizes. Like everything the tribal chief symbolizes is also symbolized by the WWE title.
So you're saying him going for the title will automatically kind of de facto make him a tribal chief?
Yeah. Like I think they're one and the same. I think the question also goes to be, how far is he willing to destroy his family to save his family?
That's a good one. You know
what I mean? Because like if you're gonna save the family from his tyranny, you have to you have to draw blood.
Which is very ironic that Roman has to save the family from someone else's tyranny. Like Roman wasn't terrorizing his entire family.
When he was the gaslighter. And we're gonna root for him, right? So I think that's why I also think that does this feud need the title is a yes. However, I think The Rock versus Cody is also big enough, and Roman versus Solo for the head of the table is big enough without the title to have those 2 mega storylines. Going into the fall and then next year's WrestleMania.
There is still, and there you also still have the question of like Rock and Roman is still on the table. You know, and Cody and Rock also. You kind of set up Cody and Rock at Raw after Mania this year. You know,
you still don't know what Rock gave him.
You don't know what Rock gave him. There is still that kind of that elephant in the room, that kind of MacGuffin that we kind of need to get answered.
It's the watch.
Another watch.
No, it's like like they got Dusty's watch back.
So you think The Rock gave him the watch?
Yeah, they make it part of storyline. Rocky gives him the watch because you'll know what this is right when I give it to you. When it's small enough to fit in his hand, it could easily be the watch.
That's very true. That's a great story. That's a great story I'd love to see play out, for the title. This could easily set up into like Rock versus Cody, because Rock can say like, oh, Roman couldn't get the job done, so now I've got to do it, which will piss off Roman, and then you get Roman Rock. Yeah,
like once Roman gets his throne back from Solo, then The Rock comes in. He's like, "Hey, buddy, let's talk."
Yeah. It's a ticket stub from the Jungle Cruise. That was a good movie. Okay. The Jungle Cruise is
It's a
entertaining.
ticket stub from the jungle. Fuck you, Taquan, ruining my fantasy
That's
booking.
really good. Bloodline Hollywood versus Bloodline Wolfpack at War Games. Although Solo does look like Bloodline Wolfpack, I'm not gonna lie. If you look at the color scheme, it is like NWO black and white versus Wolfpack.
It is. It really is. It really is.
So like I feel like you can do all of these things. You can have Rock, Cody, Rock, Rome. You can kind of have it all in the same calendar year leading into Mania. It's just a matter of who faces who at Mania and who faces who maybe, at like a Rumble or something like that. Yeah. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be. But to answer your question, is Roman come back? The original question is Roman come back? Yes, I think so. SummerSlam is a big four, and it needs to be a transition into the next stage, which is the fall, new quarter, building up towards Survivor Series, and then we're right back in Rumble season.
Yeah,
like this is the halfway point. You got to start telling that story of the next story of the Bloodline.
Yeah.
So absolutely, yeah, Roman comes back.
So then the big question is, if Roman comes back, this is also just going to be the general question: who wins this match? I'm still going with Cody because I still think Cody's still the man. He's still the top.
I'm gonna go with Cody as well.
Yeah, I think they've invested too much in Cody. They had that Giant Japan tour highlighting Cody as well. Somehow Japan had one of Dusty's robes that they returned to Cody.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, Codarius Rhodes. Yeah, I was like, why did Japan have one of Dusty's robes? All right, I'm not gonna question it. I was like, Dusty was
maybe Dusty just left it in a hotel room.
Just forgot about it.
This is like, oh shit.
Don't worry about it, baby. Keep it. So
I got so many of those at home.
Cody is Indiana Jones, but for Dusty artifacts. That's also very true.
God. Adrenaline.
So be amazing. So yeah, we're both gonna go with Cody. Kay will put their predictions up at another time. Next, we were just talking about this: Damian Priest versus Gunther in literally the same storyline of Triple H versus Booker T. If you've wow, it is. As soon as Gunther said, being poor.
People like you.
Well, before that, he said, we all know being poor is a choice. I go, wow.
Yeah, he did say that. He went right after poor people.
Yeah, I heard that go, he just became a next level heel. I was like, Jesus Christ. He was like, it's people like you who shouldn't be world champ. I was like, oh, wow. I guess Triple H wrote this one. So that really upped this rivalry for me. And then, like, they started fighting.
Damian Priest coming out and just punching him right in the face too was just like, okay, thank you. Now I like you again.
No, that was like last week. He came out. He was gonna say something. He just started punching.
Just punched him right in the mouth, which is perfect. It's what you should have
done.
done.
And then they just went completely NXT parking lot in the back. They just kept fighting.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Raw has been, honestly, Raw's been a lot better than SmackDown.
It has.
SmackDown, other than the Bloodline, has been kind of really shitty.
Yeah, and DIY is doing better on the internets again, which is fantastic.
Good for them.
You haven't seen the videos of
I have.
Ciampa trying to RKO Randy.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
This is an interesting one because you have Berlin coming up. You have Berlin in literally like 4 weeks after this, 28 days. It's a long month in August because I get paid 3 times. That's how I know it's a long month. You have 28 days to Berlin. So the big question is, does Gunther come in at already the world champion, or does he win it in Berlin? And this is a hard one for me because Damian beat the crap out of Gunther when Raw went off air. So logic tells me, old wrestling logic tells me Gunther beats him. But I don't know about that.
I mean, I do think Damian wins because the Bloodline is going to screw over Rhea. Not the Bloodline. The Judgment Day is probably going to screw over Rhea first.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. So then, or there could be. Here's the thing: if you do shenanigans in this match too, like Gunther has to win, and then you can go in as champion, because you can't really do shenanigans and help Priest win.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
But they're gonna if he wins, if he goes over clean, how do you justify the match in Germany?
Interesting. So I'm inclined to go with Damien as well because I think for marketing purposes, for future promotional purposes, the money is in Gunther winning in Berlin because that moment from in like that moment will be televised for years in Germany.
Yeah,
Like
true.
that moment of him winning the world title in Germany is going to be a marketing thing. And also, there is no way Gunther goes into Berlin, even if he's a heel on TV. There's no way he's not a babyface. So in that with all that in hand, Damien has to cheat to win. I think Damien has to play into
See,
I'm a
that's
street
what I
rat.
mean
I'm
though.
a
But like, he's supposed to be a baby
it's
face.
and they put him in and like you have a 24 for him coming out, so which automatically kind of makes you a baby face. Like
Yeah,
24s aren't going to make everybody automatically a baby face. Remember like Mrs. 24?
yeah, it was
You were like, this
excellent.
is incredible. Like
But like, Damian Priest shouldn't be heelish at all.
you want to be like a tweener?
No, he should be a babyface.
I agree. So like it's the way that this match is scripted is going to be extremely interesting. Ooh,
Judgment Day wins it for Priest, then Priest turns on JD. Judgment Day.
that could work.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like this is a fun. This has to be a two-part story.
I agree, but I don't know how you do it.
I don't know either, because like
Because like I could totally see Gunther winning by Judgment Day shenanigans,
yeah,
and then Damian gets his rematch.
yeah, I know. My thing. I was like the money's in Gunther winning, because like either he's a champion or he's a challenger. He's a face in Berlin. It's going to
Yeah.
happen. Like there's no way around it.
Yo, Jazz dude's hit his second home run tonight. It's 5-4 yards.
Nice,
Let's go.
nice.
Let's go.
So my thing is like you. I mean, do you have Ludwig Kaiser hasn't been around in a while? Does Imperium show up in this match? Is there a DQ finish?
Oh God.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that could
is
happen.
Kaiser hurt?
He might be.
Might be
What happens
hurt.
when you date Tiffany Stratton?
Thought I was back. Ayo.
Yeah. Like this could be a dusty finish. This could be totally a lot of shit. This could be a no contest, and you have the rematch. This is of all the things happening at SummerSlam. I think this is the most unpredictable one because this is
Yeah.
clearly leading to Gunther at Bash in Berlin
Yeah. Is he going to be champion
or challenger.
or challenger? I think it's going to be challenger. I'm going with Damian.
Yeah, the money
Priest.
is. I think that's I think the money's in the moment. The money's in the moment. The world title gets the main event at Bash in Berlin. Cody will probably do like a 6-man tag, something random. And you kind of just work with there. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Damien. Damien somehow, some way retains this title. It was a
Yeah.
DQ finish. We both lose. So we'll see what happens. Moving on to the first marquee matchup of this non-title matchup, the match we've been waiting for literally since the Rumble. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre with style icon referee Seth Rollins. This is the best way to put together two storylines.
Dude, I love this. I love this so much because people were shitting on like, oh, Seth deserved better. I'm like, dude, Seth is eating the shit up.
He has a rivalry
I
with
think
both of
it's-
them, and
I
he gets
think
to
it's
play it
awesome.
out. Oh, he gets to play it out
Yeah.
as the ref.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's so fucking good because it's going to be SummerSlam 97. Everyone's calling for it. I'm one of them. Taker, Austin, Sean, Taker, and Brett, with Brett was the referee. And this is what led it to Hell in a... Dude, honestly, this is going to lead to Hell in a Cell because you know what? When's Bad Blood?
Bad Blood is October. I want to say mid-October.
All right,
No,
so-
early.
all
It's
right, so
early
get
October. My
this.
fault. Early October.
So get
Charles
this.
will be there.
1997, SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It was Sean and Taker with Brett as special guest
Yeah.
referee. No, Sean as special guest
It
referee.
was- yeah,
Sorry, Brett versus
Brett
Taker.
versus-
Sean as
correct,
special guest
yes.
referee. Sean kicked Bret Hart in the face, but promised to call it down the middle.
Yeah.
So he reluctantly counted the 3 count. He kicked Taker in the face, and he counted the 3 count for Brett. So Brett won the
Yeah.
title. And then Taker had to feud with Sean, and that led to Hell in a
Which
Cell.
led to the
Bad Blood
debut of
97.
Kane.
Exactly. So Seth is going to be Shawn Michaels here.
Yeah.
He's going to kick one of them in the face, and then Drew and Punk are somehow going to go to Hell in a Cell
Could this lead?
at Bad Blood. At Bad
It's
Blood.
beautiful. Triple H is living his best life with this.
Yeah, dude. It's just Easter eggs and callbacks and member berries and all the right.
Could you imagine if this leads to like a debut of like a new Kane or something like that?
God, please, no. That's gotta be Reggie. That's gotta be Reggie.
Something like that. Could this lead? Because I don't think they've ever done it before. Because these storylines are so interwoven. Punk and Seth and Drew and Punk and could this lead to the first ever triple threat Hell in a Cell?
Dude.
It is a high possibility.
Dude, I'm fucking here for it. That is such a great idea.
Because you like these storylines are so intertwined. There's no way of separating them. They all have to collide.
They've done tag teams.
Tag team
in Hell in a Cell.
Was unreal. That was Usos in the New Day.
Yeah. Dude, it was Triple H and Shawn Michaels. It was DX versus Shane, Vince, and Big Show.
And then they did New Day and Usos.
Yeah, they did New Day and Usos too. It was a 2-on-3 handicap match. DX versus Shane, Big Show, and Vince. That match is unbelievable. Shane almost dies.
Well, that's like every Shane match. Oh.
No, but like for real.
Okay, so the Quan Summit has already been a triple threat Hell in a Cell. Cena versus Punk versus Del Rio. Don't remember that at all.
Don't remember that.
Probably because it was Del Rio.
But they should do it.
I think there's a lot. I think this would be fantastic for them to do it. A triple threat Hell in a Cell with them.
Do it at Bad Blood,
Absolutely.
dude. I'm telling you, the symmetry, it's all there.
Yeah, I think, and like, listen, the money is in Drew being an angry Scotsman. He's fantastic as the angry Scotsman.
Oh, Punk
Yeah,
wins.
I think
Punk wins clean. Not clean, but
Punk's
wins.
winning. There's gonna be something weird that's gonna happen. I think like Punk.
Yeah, Seth's gonna hit Drew.
Yeah, Seth's hitting Drew. Punk's gonna.
And then Punk, he's got to count.
I think Seth's gonna hit Drew. I think Seth's hitting Drew. Punk's gonna GTS Seth, and you're gonna have another ref come and count the 3.
Oh, that would be good too. If Seth gets screwed out of the pinfall.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty. You know what? I wouldn't be mad at that. That'd be cool.
I think that's how you set it all up. But like, yeah, this is a number 2 part of it. It's going to end up Bad Blood. I think it's gonna be fantastic. But I think the more pissed off Drew can get, the better. So.
Yeah. Either way, Punk wins.
Seth hits Drew while aiming for Punk. That could also.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go Punk. Punk hasn't won. I don't think Punk's actually been in a match outside of Royal Rumble. Punk has to get
win. Got hurt. Punk just needs to survive the match and not get hurt.
Yeah. Punk needs to win. Drew can take a loss as he just gets angrier and angrier. So to keep it at that. Moving on to the Women's World Championship match. Bayley versus Nia Jax, who's actually getting like thinner and thinner like every week. She looks really good.
Yeah, she looks great. She looks great. She's doing a great job. With her physique, and I'm glad she's getting healthy.
Yeah, no, she looks fantastic. Her character's, I think, never been better. As the queen, you have Tiffy, you have the Tiffy thing as well, whether she's going to cash in or not. And to be honest with you, I love me some Bayley, but I think it's time to put the belt on a heel Nia.
Bayley has been a garbage champion. She has done nothing since WrestleMania.
Nothing for her. I think there's nothing for her to do.
Exactly, yeah. What, she have a match against Naomi? Maybe?
She had a match at Naomi. It was like a friendly.
Like a TV match against Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah.
Like, has she been on a pay-per-view?
Yeah, it was the match with Naomi.
So. Oh,
it was the match with Naomi, and then she also was in the last PLE as well. So she was.
Don't even remember. So yeah, get this belt off of her. The will they won't they of Tiffany and Nia is way more interesting.
Yeah. I think that's what. Oh, Bayley was not in Money in the Bank. I'm sorry, I have the card up here. But yeah, no, the will they won't they, and I think Nia deserves it. She's had a great run. She was fantastic at Queen of the Ring. Let her run with it. The last time they gave Nia the championship was at Mania 34, and she was a babyface, and that was an excellent story. Like it was. With Alexa and Mickey, and it was a well done story, and everybody wanted Nia to win, and she won. She just couldn't sustain it as a babyface because she's not naturally a babyface. She is naturally a heel, and a heel run with Nia as the world champion and Tiffy kind of looming with the briefcase is a story that needs to be said. And it becomes more intriguing because then you have somebody who is of the bloodline with a championship belt.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, Nia's like the forgotten stepchild of the bloodline.
Yeah, she's The Rock's direct cousin.
Yeah, she's never recognized. Like Naomi got recognized more than Nia Jax.
Which is Naomi and Nia Jax are both in that like bloodline, like the big family tree. They're both there.
Yeah, they're both there, but Naomi got like more like I feel like the internet recognized Naomi more.
Yeah, but not.
Honestly, they probably use Nia's real name.
They use Naomi's.
Or is it in brackets?
No, they use Naomi's real. They use Naomi's real name and Nia's real name, but then their brackets are.
There's Naomi and Nia
correct.
Jax.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love Bayley. Bayley, I'm a Bayley buddy all the way
all
to
day,
the end.
every day.
And she had a good story up until WrestleMania, but her character is not a great champion as a baby face. She was an excellent champion as a heel, so I don't want to say she's a bad champion.
She's a beautiful heel.
But
Ding Dong Hello Belly was amazing.
Yeah. With Sasha as well as that side.
The 2-woman power trip during the stalwarts of the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
They carried that company for months.
Yeah, it was great. But Bayley is a babyface champion for whatever reason. This doesn't work.
Not anymore. She's too. You know, she's older now. When she was like the bright-eyed, bushy tail, like side ponytail Bayley.
Yeah, she doesn't. She wants to be a babyface, but she doesn't know how without being the hugger, and she doesn't want to do the hugger Bayley again.
Which I don't blame her for.
I don't blame her either. I don't blame her either. If I were her, I wouldn't want to do it. But as a fan, I kind of want to see it again.
I think we all want to see it again.
Just like for like a month.
So here's a big question: does Tiffy cash in and screw this up?
No,
I don't think so either. She needs a new.
She's not ready. She is no way near ready to be champion.
Yeah, not what.
Nia Jax deserves a run.
Yeah.
And I think Tiffy's going to get some more experience being in that limelight. She gets to dazzle her briefcase and kind of run with that.
She needs a new briefcase. They're just making her walk around with that beat up briefcase. It's horrible.
Yeah. Like she's not necessarily green as a competitor and a performer, but she is definitely going to be green as like in the spotlight and as a champion.
Correct, yeah.
So her being in that scene with Nia is going to do way more help than her cashing.
Here's something too. I think Nia does win this, and I'll be very happy for her because ever since she returned, she's done fantastic work. The problem is Charlotte's almost ready to come back.
All right, Ricky, I just had a crazy thought. I know Charlotte's ready to come back.
She's almost ready. She's training at the PC.
But let's rewind about like let's rewind 8 months.
Okay.
To
December?
The Royal
Rumble.
The Royal Rumble. When Jade Cargill debuted.
Yes. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Imagine if this run, instead of Tiffany Stratton, was Jade, her and Nia, and she won Money in the Bank, and Jade was Nia's heavy.
Lord Almighty.
As a heel.
Lord Almighty.
We're looking at a completely different and much better Jade Cargill because they tried doing with Bianca, and it's fallen flat.
They're fun. They're having too much fun. It's one of those things where like it's like the D1 athlete going up against a D3 school. Like you're just fucking around at this point. They're like, like they were on Hot Ones recently, and it was a funny Hot Ones too.
I did see that, which I did see that, which is good, right? Because they're both charismatic. It's way better for Bianca, but Jade,
she needs to turn it up.
Yeah, and she got a little exposed. This babyface run of hers got her a little exposed.
She's still a level of green, but I think it's coming. I think there's when Jade turns, because we know it's happening. Like it's going to happen. Because I don't think Bianca's the Black John Cena at this point. I don't think you turn.
Yeah, Bianca's way too good for PR and charity work.
Exactly. I think you turn Jade at some point. I think we just have to wait on it. But the thing is, what's it gonna take? But Jade has Money in the Bank. Oh my Lord. Oh, that's a scary thought.
And her being Nia's heavy.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Nia doesn't need a heavy. It's like China is Triple H is heavy.
Yeah. This is the role reversal would be fantastic.
Yeah. And because Jade's and Jade would be a much better mouthpiece for Nia because Jade can talk that shit.
Yeah.
And Nia's not great on the mic.
Nia,
still. She's good enough.
Yeah.
but she's not great.
Nia, like in ad-libbing Nia, like Nia in real life is funny as fuck. Like she's
The BBL Bailey line from a few weeks ago didn't pop me off. I'm not gonna lie.
like not
Look at that BBL Bailey.
like, that's the thing with Nia. Like she plays a mean person, but like from what I've seen her, like she's a character. Like she's just a funny person, like in real life. So like I think she has an issue like trying to be serious, but like the BBL Bailey line like kind of like bridged the gap between like this is hysterical, this is also like a heel thing to say, you know. So I think she hasn't found her snark yet with that, but I think she's on a great run. I want her with this title. I think she's going to do wonders with this title, and the dynamic between her and Tippy is going to carry to the Rumble.
Yeah. This is easily her best run of her career.
Absolutely,
easily.
Absolutely, and congrats to her for persisting and staying with it.
She made me a fan. She made me Nia Jax made me a fan, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. So moving on to. If this isn't the main event, which is probably not going to be, and if it's not the main event, Roman might be returning. This should.
Oh god, that picture is just.
There's a lot going on there.
It's excellent. Going on. It's all in the eyes. It's the eyes and Rhea's smile. Look at
that. This should open the show. It's a wild way to open the show, but it should open.
Oh god.
Yeah. The story of the summer for WWE: Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley in a custody of Dominic Mysterio match is what's going to happen. Let's recap what happened with this whole thing. You have Rhea Ripley beats Becky at WrestleMania Night 1, opening in one of the best openers in WrestleMania history, mind you.
Yeah.
That was an excellent wrestling match, gender notwithstanding. Like, that's an excellent wrestling match. Liv attacks Rhea the next night on Raw, and inadvertently injures Rhea. Like, that was not supposed to happen. Okay, inadvertently injures Rhea. Rhea has to relinquish. She goes away. She gets married. She also gets in crazy shape, by the way, after getting married. Becky has to run for a while, and then Liv takes the title off of Becky, and Liv goes on what's known as her revenge tour, where she tries to take everything that Rhea took from her, including the Judgment Day, and most importantly, Dom Mysterio, who lived his best life all summer. A mistress, a girlfriend, and a real-life wife. Getting chicken nuggies and PlayStation every Monday on Raw.
That has been pretty funny.
You know, Rhea
Liv's been taking care of Judgment Day.
Yeah, pretty much. Liv has pretty much attacked Dom whenever she can. Rhea came back. Rhea's been mad at Dom. It is literally Eddie Guerrero in China is what they're doing. It's the Eddie Guerrero in China storyline when Eddie screwed up and things like that. But this is going to be a little bit of a rabbit twist. Recently, Dom pretty much. I don't know how Dom did it, because I know you saw that Raw when pretty much Liv Morgan was walking around in barely any shorts whatsoever.
Girls like you don't get the guy, but girls look like me do.
Like, you are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah, I mean it's excellent. And this week when her burning everything,
yeah.
God, it's just she's just a crazy stalker. It could be like
and Dom
stalk me.
Dom cursed her out in Spanish and said, "You are nothing to me," blah blah blah. Liv Morgan had the best fake ugly cry I've seen in a while. I was like, that's really good.
I was like, you're trying. It's almost there. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, good. And then Rhea just licked Dom's face on TV. I was like, okay.
That was ad-libbed.
Yeah, that had to be ad-libbed. I was like, I hope Buddy's not watching this. But
here's the thing, though. Like, was the Dom and Rhea relationship, it was never sexual.
It was insinuated that it was.
Was it? Was it?
My Dom, mommy's on top.
Yeah, I guess. But like, did you ever think for a second? No, they're fucking.
Oh no, not at all. No, not at all.
Never once. Right? Like there's no. I'm saying like in kayfabe, there's no sexual tension there.
No.
Between Dom and, like, I got more of a Joker Harley Quinn type relationship. Just sex is reversed.
Okay, fair enough.
Like Rhea manipulated Dom from his father, and he made him like my gimp or my bitch.
Pretty much.
I never viewed it as like a sexual thing. So the fact that like Rhea's just like, oh no, Dom's like my man. We belong together. It's just like
which makes
what?
it interesting when you bring that up because
Like if Rhea came back and just cucked Dom, it would have been so much fucking better. Dude, it would have been so much better.
it's the irony
Like
of
Dom heel. Dom.
here's a treat.
Exactly. Here's a lick.
You know, that's the irony of the storyline because Liv is essentially doing to Dom what Rhea did to Dom all along.
What Dom wanted Rhea to do.
You know, so like Rhea manipulated Dom, took him away from her family, blah 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 blah. Took her away from his family, took him away from her, whatever. You know, Rhea did all of that, manipulated Dom, started the tension. But here's the kicker, and here's where I think this is going to be the greatest thing ever because Rhea's not winning this title at all.
Not a chance.
Not a chance,
Not a chance.
in hell. It is either Dom that's going to screw over Rhea or it's Finn. Someone in Judgment Day, Liv has someone on the inside. If it's not Dom already, it's Finn. And you know why? Because Liv was able to do the one thing Rhea couldn't for Dom. Help Dom
help him
beat his dad. And that is something that Dom has always wanted to do. And I thought it was actually never going to happen until Ray retired. But they're using it for a storyline. Dom pinned Ray with the help of Liv. And after Dom literally just like berated Liv a couple weeks ago, I go, Dom's turning on Rhea. Like it's all a setup.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think Dom stays loyal to Rhea.
Really?
I do. Because I think he's cucked. Because Dom never wanted Liv. He never showed any signs of
He
Liv.
never wanted Rhea
really
either.
He never really gave in to the temptation, but he's loyal to the one who turned him. He's loyal to his new family, his Judgment Day, his mommy. He's a boy. Dom is a boy. He's a little child. He's not a man. He's not a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he still feels like Rey Mysterio's kid. like he still comes off as like a teenager who doesn't know wouldn't know what to do with a girl like Liv Morgan. So he stays safe at home with mommy. So, like, in my mind, Dom's a cock. That's his character.
Dom just has no backbone, but Pretzelmania.
That's what I mean. He has no balls.
Pretzelmania put up a good point here.
I think Finn is the one who's working with Rhea. And if you want that image of like Liv standing at the top of the stage kissing someone, you want it to be Finn Balor.
Yo.
You want to do Edge and Lita? You do it with Finn Balor and not Dom. Dom can't be Edge. Finn can be Edge.
Yeah, that's crazy. And Pretzelmania put up a good point. He said Finn's picture was the only part not wrecked in the Judgment Day Clubhouse this week.
Yeah. Like the breadcrumbs are all there, and they're all leading to Finn. Dom is just the biggest white herring because he's a fucking cuck.
Yeah.
like
you know, it is interesting because there is something there with Finn. Either way, I think Liv retains his title from Rhea. Because if you want a massive babyface, even though Rhea's a massive babyface, have her lose. The person that, you know, she's supposed to be the title for.
Liv is 100% winning this. It's a matter of who screws over Rhea. Is it going to be Dom or is it going to be Finn?
Yeah, there's a lot of compelling evidence that Finn's the inside man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of compelling evidence that Finn's the inside man. Like, he just...
And Liv Morgan's just pulling all the strings. She knows exactly, and she takes everything away from Rhea except Dom, which Rhea, does she really care about Dom? I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah, and someone's turning in Judgment Day. It's either Dom's turning or Finn's turning.
Or Finn's turning.
And
then whatever happens there, it also has repercussions for Damian Priest.
I like Finn turning as well.
Yeah, I do. I want Finn to turn.
The original idea of Judgment Day, which was created by Adam Copeland Edge, was to highlight people who didn't really get their fair shot. And by and large, it worked. Except for Finn.
Yeah.
And Finn's the odd man out. And I think Finn has legitimate reason to kind of say, screw this.
Finn yells, where the fuck is Vicky?
I would love that. I would love that so much. That would be so good. Where the fuck is Vicky? Where is she? Oh my god, that'd be great. I wish Vicky Guerrero could be here for this as well. Is she still under contract with AEW? Do we know?
The custody of a child will be determined in a match.
Pretty much.
I gotta remember that button. Is the custody of a child.
Pretty much. Like, is Vicky still under contract with AEW? Because that's the one thing missing from his thing.
Dude, who knows? Who knows?
I don't think AEW knows either.
Vicky comes in, Dom calls her granny.
Grandma! Great Graham.
I mean, here's the thing though, if Dom doesn't turn and goes with Liv, does that make Dom a massive baby face with Rhea?
I don't know. This is an intriguing story. Like, what does Dom do? Is Finn involved? Like, this is
I also feel like Dom turning is too predictable.
But I don't know. Is it him turning or is it him being who he's supposed to be all along? Because remember, there's no way Dom's a babyface anytime soon. So I think him turning on the babyface makes him more of what he actually is.
Yeah, scumbag, I guess.
It's gonna be. This is going to be I'm like, they built the story really well.
I mean, there's no reason it couldn't be both of them, and Liv just takes them both.
That would be hysterical. That would be hysterical. That'd be amazing. I like it. I like it. The money's in Liv getting her revenge. Like also you got to realize SummerSlam traditionally the heel pay-per-view, the heel PLE.
Yeah, it's the heel.
Heels do a great job at SummerSlam. Okay, and I think this is a great tone setter for what might actually happen. But there's going to be some surprises, I think, leading into this whole thing. But we're both going with Liv here. Moving on, the United States Championship match. We have Logan Paul versus L.A. Knight, and yeah, I think it's about time Logan Paul drops this. I think he's had his run.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was listening to Matt Men the other day, and they got an idea in my head I really want to come true.
What?
Logan wins, and you hear the doo 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 doo,
and Cena comes out.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'd much rather see John Cena Logan Paul than John Cena LA Knight.
That's true.
If you're gonna kick off the retirement tour, I think Logan Paul is a great place to start.
Listen, that's a good point. It's a very, very good point. I'm thinking, you kind of have it in my head now. I'm thinking of what John Cena can do to Logan Paul on the microphone. I think that's a...
Okay, maybe LA Knight should win. Yeah, now I should say that. I think John Cena LA Knight looks pretty damn good. I don't want Logan Paul's career to be over. John Cena's not good at putting people over.
No, he's not.
He's tried. You know what? He's tried, and he's just not good at it.
Not good at all.
By the time he put over Roman didn't need
it. Yeah. And even when he tried to put over Roman, John Cena was just miles above him on the mic.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time he did it, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And the second time he did it, he didn't need it.
Yeah.
So tell me one person John Cena's put over. I'll wait.
Nobody. Nobody at all.
Wade Barrett? No.
Actually, not even by KO. I would argue Kevin Owens.
Okay, he put over Kevin Owens.
I would argue Kevin Owens. Sure.
Yeah, that's a fair argument. Yeah, he put over Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
mid card, but still counts.
It worked. KO debuted with the NXT Championship and beat John Cena. Like, that was a big move.
Yeah.
There's no one.
AJ?
I don't know. Because, like, here's the thing. You look like the 3-part AJ and Cena, because you had like AJ beat Cena, or the club beat Cena the first time.
Yeah, beat up John Cena.
Well, beat up John Cena happened after AJ beat him at SummerSlam 1-on-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then John Cena left his headband in the ring, and then AJ Styles wore it around for like months.
Amazing.
Yeah, but then Cena came back and beat him at the Rumble for the title.
Yeah, that was it.
So I don't know if it was putting Styles over, because Styles was like forever over.
Styles lost the feud. Okay, so no, that's a no then.
I don't.
So Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I think it's KO. I think it's the only one. Yeah, I think it's Kevin. I think it's Kevin, but to this,
Randy Orton. Well, Randy Orton was tied.
they
were
went
mostly
back
tied.
to back. They put each other over. They're in the same class.
Edge. They also put each other
Yeah.
over, which was fine though because you wanted to establish both of them as like all four of those guys as stars.
Absolutely.
Edge, Cena, and Orton, all three of them. So that doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think this time with Logan Paul is over with the United States title, and I think at this point you got to give LA Knight something. Like you got to give him something.
Yeah, if LA Knight doesn't win this, his momentum stops dead in its tracks.
Yeah, like he went up against Roman. He had that triple threat or a fatal four-way or what have you. And obviously he wasn't going to win, but kind of prove yourself. You're in the main event scene. What are you going to do with it? They obviously didn't give it to him, but like he beat Styles in a fine match at Mania. Like it was okay. What more does he have to do to get a title on him?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Although going into an election season, Logan Paul as the United States champion is also very intriguing because you don't know what the hell he's going to say or do with that as well. He's already had one presidential candidate on his show.
I know we joked about MJF being a Trump supporter on TV.
Logan Paul's a real one.
I think I know, but I think you in all honesty, I think AEW and WWE should keep away from that political controversy because it's too much poison. You're not going to make anyone happy.
No one wins.
Because all people can be talking about is fucking politics and how much everyone hates politics.
Yeah.
And hates each other. So it's not worth doing. Like,
yeah.
Hulk Hogan went to RNC by himself. He was not there on behalf of WWE. Right? Which is fine, right? Hulk Hogan do whatever the fuck he wants. Hulkamaniac till I die, brother. If your politics are dog shit. But like, yeah, I would not have I found Logan Paul, I'd be like, yeah, dude. I know you. Although he interviewed Trump.
Yeah, he did. He had him on Impulsive. Yeah.
Which is fucking wild. But that was also not on behalf of WWE either.
No, it was not. That was his own thing.
Yeah, that's his own thing, which WWE has no control, no part of, nor should they.
Yeah, I mean,
right? WWE should have no say in whether Logan Paul can talk to Donald Trump in his own
correct. Saquon said, "Remember when NWA booked Tyrus for that exact same reason?" That's true, and Tyrus ended up being on Fox News a lot.
Yeah, Fox News world champion. Yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah,
for
I'm
real.
still leading towards LA,
which is hilarious. Like, dude, is that the Funkasaurus?
Do you want to know when I first realized he was doing Fox News? I was in a gym, like after work, just working out, and obviously TVs around everywhere. I'm like in the middle of a rep, and I go, "Is that fucking?
Is that Brodus Clay?"
Because like, if you watch Brodus Clay,
he's just in a backwards hat and a black
t-shirt, and he has the chain. I'm like, what is going on?
He looks like he's in character.
Yeah, that's how I knew it was him. I was like, is that Brodus Clay on Fox News? I was just like, my God. But yeah, I'm still gonna go with LA.
Yeah, but how long before Caleb Braxton ends up on Newsmax?
Not at all. She's doing she left. She did a movie. I forgot who she's in the movie with. I want to say David Arquette.
Yeah. I saw something on Instagram. I forgot what she's at. Yeah, but
in some movie,
whatever. She signed with some agency, so she'll be just fine.
Yeah, she'll be fine. She promoted UFC last week. Like she'll be good. She'll be good. But yeah, I'm still gonna go with LA Knight. Are you also going with Mr. Knight?
No, I'm gonna go with Logan Paul.
All right, Logan Paul. Some vision. All right. Final.
I love how people comparing his run to Dean Ambrose's though. Which maybe they should take it off. To be honest, fuck that LA Knight.
No,
that's reason enough to take it off him. Like, no, this guy's nothing like that Dean Ambrose. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God, no. Logan Paul's had a better run than Dean Ambrose.
Because what you could do. Oh my God, dude. Okay, I got it. I got the finish. Logan Paul goes for the brass knucks, and then you hear the do, and then he somehow he kills KSI, takes the brass knucks, and LA Knight ends up winning. And then John Cena tries to put LA Knight over with a point, but gets himself over because now all we're going to be talking about is John Cena versus Logan Paul. That's exactly what's going to happen at SummerSlam.
There you go.
LA Knight wins.
There you go. And that's how you incorporate politics, because John Cena far right, far left, Logan Paul far right. There you go. And you get the title off of it. You just insinuate that they're on opposite sides of the coin, and then you just work that way.
This is going to be a great November tournament.
Pretty much, I like that idea. But so I still say LA Knight. Sorry. So probably the most predictable match on this card: Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn.
Are you sure?
I listen. I think it's
Dude, every single time we say Sammy is going to lose.
you're running
Every
the
time.
same exact match as you did.
Every
They're
single
running the
time.
same exact match from Money in the Bank. He can't lose twice. You're setting him up as a world beater and a monster.
I know. I know, dude. I know. I want him to win so bad. But, dude, Sammy has made me look like a fool so many times.
Listen, I think he's out of miracles right now. He sold his soul for the Gunther win. I think he's out of miracles at this moment.
Like, I know we called Sami Zayn. We said Sami Zayn in an NXT run. At the Nakamura match, we're like, yeah, he could easily be the next Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go on a limb and say he is a bigger underdog than Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
And it's like I think he does Daniel Bryan better than Daniel Bryan.
Who I think, and we're gonna probably talk about it in a couple of weeks. Daniel Bryan's swan song is happening All In.
Yes. Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Brian Danielson.
Going out on his own terms.
We'll give the man his
Absolutely.
flowers. Absolutely.
But going to this, I think Sammy's run out of lives here, and I see this as, because if you're gonna do this, and Triple H and his callbacks and stuff, this is Kevin Owens beating. This is a TKO. Kevin Owens beating Sami Zayn for the NXT title. This is an annihilation.
Did you watch Braun versus Ilya the other week?
God, it was so much fun.
Did you think that was a shoot or work when the ref stoppage because he hit his head on the apron?
I think it was a work.
Think that was a work? It looked very real.
I saw the replay.
It
looked. I didn't see him actually like hit his head on the angles.
Yeah, they didn't. They only had. In fact, they only had one camera angle. Makes me think it was a work.
I thought it was a work.
But Braun looked, because it looked like the Braun was going for the finish was coming though. I thought he was going to get back in the ring. Braun was in the corner, ready to spear him. Gets in, spear 1, 2, 3. So it could have been a shoot. He could have gotten a stinger. I mean, he did hit the back of his head on the apron. Allegedly.
Yeah, that's your central nervous system.
So it's the hardest part of the ring.
That's true. That's true, and it's also your from anatomy. It's a central nervous system. All your nerves are there. So.
Yeah, because it was a great match that kind of got soiled by the finish.
Those NXT calls this year, Ilya and Braun Breaker doing unreal stuff.
It's kind of crazy how Carmelo is getting booked the worst out of the three of them.
Well, he's putting fun matches up. He's just up against Andrade, who has no aura to him.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which is I would love to see, because so if we go back to LA Knight and Logan Paul, because you kind of already have that whose dick is bigger argument between LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes, and you can reignite that as well.
You could, yeah. I think if LA Knight gets the belt, which I actually do think he is, and then his first feud up against a Carmelo Hayes,
I think I think you do add
that is a good spot. That is a very good spot for Carmelo Hayes to be in, but he will lose while Braun Breaker will win.
Yeah,
it's just because these two guys were the big draft picks on each brand. This is the next guy.
Yeah,
and it's hard for me not to compare Braun to Carmelo because it's not even close.
Yeah, even though it wasn't Braun drafted earlier. No.
Carmelo was first pick.
I know Carmelo was first. I don't remember he was first pick, but I know he
first round. First round. He was first round. Braun was not.
Why
first
do I feel
round.
like Braun? I'm mixing up him with probably Odyssey Jones, who was drafted 3 years ago and never appeared on Raw.
Never appeared. I think Braun was second.
Something like that. Okay.
Maybe.
No, it's hard to compare. It's hard not to compare them because they are coming from the same class essentially. So it's totally understandable. I think Carmelo's time is coming, but I think right now, like we said earlier, the better stories are happening on Raw.
Way better.
The better stories are happening on Raw, and for a while it was SmackDown. For a while, SmackDown was the better story.
Yeah, for a long time it was SmackDown because Roman in the Bloodline and Sammy was over there too.
Yeah. But right now the better stories are happening on Raw, and I think that's also kind of a product of what's happening to some of the characters on both brands. Is that a lot of the focus? And
that's not a dig on Cody and the Bloodline
no, it's not.
either, because that has been really good. It's just the rest of SmackDown has been dragging that shit down.
Yeah. Tiffy and Nia and Bailey thing is also that's a other big storyline for them, but everything else is kind of it's not there yet. But with this, I think Braun takes the title. I really do. I think this is an annihilation. I think this is an annihilation.
SummerSlam is a spot for annihilations
Yeah,
too.
I think this is a shock TKO knockout, like how Kevin Owens destroyed Sammy to win the title. It's one of those things where like Sammy is a great babyface. Sammy is also a Dolph Ziggler level of a seller.
All right, remember, here's the thing though, because you don't want to bury Sammy either. Remember when Kofi got beat by Brock in like 34 seconds?
I think it lasts longer than 34 seconds.
It was a few
Yeah,
minutes, right? It was maybe 3
Yeah,
minutes. Do you want to do that with Sammy?
I think you can.
I get the underdog where it's like you always think the underdog's going to come back, and so it's the shock value to beat him really, really quickly.
Yeah.
But it hasn't worked that well in the past.
I don't want it to be quick. I want it to be like a slow death. Like he's
Yeah,
dragging
like
it out.
if it was the Gunther match at Mania all over again, except Sammy didn't come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be a slow and painful thing where he like, where Braun just like doesn't stop, or he has to be stopped by somebody to like prove his point.
And unless Sammy's at like a Cena level over where Brock, it just didn't matter.
Yeah, it's one of those things where since this match was at Money in the Bank, you cannot do the same match twice. You gotta progress the story.
Yeah.
Somehow. And I think you built up Breakker so much, he's essentially this, he's a more athletic Goldberg. He has the same goddamn tattoo. You know, him running crazy.
Goldberg was a little shorter and a little more athletic.
If Goldberg knew more than like 3 moves, then he would be Braun Breakker.
Yeah. Braun Breakker is just Goldberg as a running back.
Yeah. Who can also do a Hurricane Rana.
Terrifying.
It's very terrifying.
They called what did Pat McAfee call it? The Braunensteiner or something?
I forgot what it was.
The Breakensteiner?
I think it was the Breakensteiner, yeah.
Breakensteiner,
yeah.
Which is a great name.
Yeah, it's
a great name.
Listen, Sammy, I think Sammy is fine, and if Sammy has time off or something coming, annihilating him at SummerSlam and like a long, slow, painful death, like this needs to. But you need to have people in the crowd like gasping for air of how bad Sammy's getting beat. Sammy's going to put him over, I think, and this is the great way to put him over.
Yeah, I hope. I think you should.
I'm going Breakker.
You know, you convinced me. I'm gonna go with Breakker too.
It has to be done well. Like this needs to be an annihilation. Absolutely annihilate Sammy. Get him off TV for a while. Like, you know, you have Braun Breakker retire Ricochet from WWE, have him take out Sammy for an extended period of time too.
I know, Fretz, who you got?
I don't know. I don't know if Fretz is still watching. We'll see. He'll come back.
Taquan, who you got? Whoever's still watching, tell us who you got.
That's right. Braun was on the main roster for Melo got drafted. I was right. Thank you, Taquan. Braun was already. They had remember because they signed Braun.
Yeah, he was up. He was up.
They signed Braun. Fred says Braun. They signed Braun, but Carmelo was drafted because that's what it was. Braun Breakker was a signee, but then we were like, how's it going to work if he's still the tag team champions with like Baron Corbin? Because Baron Corbin and him were tag champions in NXT. Like, how's this working?
Yeah, and they brought him back down for a hot second, then they brought him back up. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Also, talk about strange bedfellows, another Dave term. Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews as a tag team on SmackDown.
Weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah, yes, that's how you know SmackDown's not that great.
It's very weird. Over in tag division's fun, like DIY, Austin Creed, and all of that. But yeah, just the overall better product right now is Raw. But we're going Breakker here, and that's the card. The only question, only question we need to actually ask, we just said it. I said Dom turned on Rhea. What's your official stance? Is Dom turning on Rhea, or do you still go with Finn?
No, I'm going with Finn.
Okay, so I got that down right. So yeah, this is the SummerSlam card again, 7 Eastern, Saturday night. They've opened up a lot of extra sections for Cleveland Brown Stadium, so I've heard, a lot of extra seats. So. All right. I know I know it's both. I know it's both sides. I don't know how much of both sides, but I know they do have both sides of a stadium sections open as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. SummerSlam obviously doesn't draw as big as WrestleMania,
Yeah.
So, and we know that especially from when they did WrestleMania in Nashville, it wasn't a full stadium, but it was big enough, and they portrayed it as big enough. Detroit, but
It didn't look that bad on TV though.
in Nashville, no, it did not. And Detroit, I think was slammed because it was inside. Detroit, I think, was slammed as well. But listen, we've talked a lot about all of these different matches because they built up all these matches very, very well. The only question left is how good will this pay-per-view be? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best thing ever. Will Tarashak?
I have very high expectations for this. I'm gonna go straight 9.
Oof. Oh man, I'm not gonna do 9. I'm gonna go 8.5. But it's. I think this is gonna be a fun ride. There's a lot of stuff that can go on, but I think I'm gonna go 8.5 as well for this. Charles is being a dick and doing 8.125.
8.125. You can't do that. You're at 8.5.
Yeah.
8 or 8.5. You can round down.
We're not doing the Dave scale. Not at all. But yeah, no, SummerSlam is going to be fun. I'm very excited for this. The Miz is hosting, which means R-Truth is going to be there. Did you see the segment on Raw this week?
No.
So Miz is like, I'm going to be hosting the biggest party of the summer. And R-Truth comes like, oh, we holding a party? And R-Truth's like, Miz, how are you going to throw a party in Cleveland when you live in L.A.? He's like, it's not a house party.
Got him.
He's like, but you got hors d'oeuvres coming? Like, no. Do you want hors d'oeuvres? And then Kathy Keller's like, yeah, Miz, are you gonna bring hors d'oeuvres? And Miz is like, I'll bring hors d'oeuvres.
I'll bring hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
Bring Sandy Pops.
Yeah. Freaking R-Truth's gonna bring appetizers. It sounds it's gonna be R-Truth and Miz hosting SummerSlam, which is gonna.
I hope R-Truth this has a box of Ritz. He's like, I bought hors d'oeuvres. Ritz crackers. I got them from the Ritz Hotel.
Or whatever snack food is sponsoring them. Is what R-Truth.
Yeah, like Cheez-Its,
Yeah.
Snickers. It's probably Snickers.
Real quick, before we go up. What if it's neither Liv or what's either Rhea or Finn that turns on Rhea? What if it's Rhea that turns on Dom and like gets with Jey Uso? Because they've been teasing that for a while.
God, no, thank you.
That is the one thing missing from this. We're not going to get a giant Jey Uso like Yeet chant or Yeet entrance.
That's fine. Dude, I'm a little over Jey Uso, to be honest.
Is it the styrofoam hands? Isn't Mike Cole doing it now too? Is that ruined it for you?
Yep, it's wearing off. The Uso push. Yeet is no longer working for me. It's like, what else you got?
It's the foam fingers. It's the foam fingers. It is really what it is. But yeah, that is all that we have for this show this week. So thank you guys for joining us. It's very good to be back. Although I do need to continue my dynasty in NCAA football or EA Sports College football at some point. All 3 of them. But it's good. It's good to have a little break from the video games thus far and my ridiculous dynasty that's happening at the moment. So any final thoughts, Mr. Tarashak, before we get out of here?
I'm excited.
Then we can nerd out on all the big Marvel happenings.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss it, but I'm gonna watch it on Sunday when I get home. So that should be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
I bet it will. So without further ado, Mr. Tarashak, hit me with that music, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 384, Summer in the Land without LeBron because he's over there trying to win a gold medal for Team USA in the Olympics. I've been your host, King Ricky Rose. You can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets, BIGZ Ambassador Biggs, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Threads, because that's a thing now, for me at least. BIGZ Ambassador Biggs. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media outlets. Links to all of that are in the description below. If you are listening to this show, thank you. If you're watching the show, also thank you as well. Make sure you're listening to us at least on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at addict_wrestle on Twitter and at Wrestle Addict Radio everywhere else on the interwebs. SummerSlam is going to be a wild, fun time. So I hope I think it will be. I think we're going to be shocked by a lot of things that are going to occur. And I'm looking forward to this. I'm actually pretty excited for SummerSlam. Will Tarashuk.
Yeah. It's gonna be a grand old time. Your boy is very excited. But yeah, it's hot in here. So let's get to this post show so I can turn this fan
So
on
hot
and
now.
watch the Yankees lose this game.
Oh, they're losing?
Yeah, dude. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Awful. This game is fucking
Jesus
awful.
Christ. When we come back next week, hopefully the Yanks will stop losing. Hopefully Kay will return, and hopefully we'll have some crazy stuff to talk about. And hopefully AEW doesn't rename another one of their freaking titles for the umpteenth time. So until next week, folks, goodbye, good night. We'll see you soon. And we got to start thinking about this as All In's happening. We might have to bring Slack back. But until then, folks, fuck you, Slack. See you next week.
Midnight music.
So what happened now with the Yanks?
Dude, so it's 5-4 in the
Yeah.
ninth. First and third, 2 outs.
Okay.
Fucking Cole Hamels wild pitched, 5th run scores.
Damn.
So, man on second base, they walk Schwarber, so it's first and second. And then fucking Trey Turner got like a dink single. And now it's bases loaded, 2 outs, 2-1 count to fucking Bryce Harper.
Yo, Jazz Chisholm has 4 home runs in 24 hours.
Yeah, he has all 5 RBIs tonight.
Jesus
Dude, how did
Christ.
he not get pitching in this fucking trade deadline? What the fuck was Cashman
They moved
doing?
a lot of relief pitchers around. That's what I know.
They don't have a fucking closer. They don't have a leadoff hitter. They don't have a cleanup hitter. They don't have a closer.
We got Jazz.
How long is that?
I don't
gonna
know,
last?
actually. If he's playing this well, stay as long as you want for right now.
I mean, Stanton just came back and he's not even playing tonight. Why isn't Stanton playing? He just got back from injury. Fucking play him.
I don't...
I think he gets hurt all the time.
Because he's not playing.
He's not playing.
I
God, Boone is such a fucking moron.
don't know. All right, so where do you want me to start? With Deadpool, we want to talk about San Diego Comic-Con's...
All right, they got out of it. Let's talk about RDJ first. I didn't see Deadpool. I haven't even seen Deadpool 2.
You didn't see Deadpool 2?
So-
Deadpool 2's fun.
I know. I have a lot of Deadpool to catch up on. The first Deadpool is fucking awesome.
You like...
But,
yeah, go to RDJ.
RDJ is just like, why?
Because comics, that's why. Because you can pull this off. It wouldn't work in any other franchise if it wasn't comic book related. Because in comics, essentially in comics, there's the lore is already there. There's already multiple storylines where Doctor Doom and Iron Man essentially switch places, and Iron Man becomes Doctor Doom. Also,
Okay. So this is a comic.
it's a comic book thing, yes. Also, RDJ with the Hogan 96 heel turn. I've seen that a lot on socials. It's really fucking funny.
It is. Funny.
Yeah. Also, since they're in the multiverse saga and you're working with multiverse logic, it's not going to be the same Tony that died in Endgame. It's going to be a different Tony Stark, essentially, from a different universe who becomes Doctor Doom.
Wait. So Tony. So it's the main character. It's gonna be Tony Stark.
Well, they're saying he's playing
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be Victor Von Doom.
No, this is just me just spitballing. I believe he's going to play Victor Von Doom, but he's not going to be in the universe which you know Tony Stark at. You know him as Tony Stark. Do you understand that? It's like Marvel has like the universe, the Marvel MCU universe is Earth 616. That's its designation.
Yeah, dude, that's like one thing that kind of bothers me with Marvel now. It's like nothing really matters anymore because they can just be like, oh, it's a different timeline from a different universe, and it's in the
Welcome
comics.
to comics. Welcome to comics. It depends. Like essentially, do you know all the X-Men, the Fox movies?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
Earth
I mean,
is Earth
I get it.
1005? No, it's Earth 10005.
I get it, but it's very lazy storytelling.
It's only way you can kind of make sense out of it. Like for
It's a lazy trope.
it's a trope that's starting to comes with like sense. The thing.
Well, specifically in X-Men, the comics, they weren't allowed to make new characters or something. There's some crazy. I watched a video. I should have sent you the YouTube
Yeah.
video of like X-Men comic book rights
Mhm.
and like why the X-Men like the movies were so kind of like the latest ones were kind of shitty. I have to find the
there
video.
was because there was issues with it. Although I rewatched all the X-Men movies, New Mutants, which everybody shitted on. I rewatched it. I was like, this is actually not a bad movie. The problem with New Mutants is that it came out. It was supposed to come out at the same time around Endgame, and then also when they were doing it, Marvel bought Fox.
Yeah.
And so it screwed up. The reason that multiverse works now for all the Marvel movies because there was a bunch of Marvel movies like all the Fox X-Men and Spider-Man that occurred before Marvel was like this giant theatrical force. So Marvel can easily say, yes, these things are part of Marvel, but they're in a different universe than what we've been showing you for the last 10 years. That's why things like that work. It's happened in the comics all the time. Like there's a bunch of universes and different designations. There's one Marvel universe. It's like Earth. It's called the 1642 series where they're all in Shakespearean time. And so they're all in like medieval England doing.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Comics are a weird
Just
place, dude. And Marvel's got a lot of lore. Like you don't like they haven't even shown half of their superheroes. There's a lot of weird shit.
I know.
There's a lot of weird stuff.
I know. Comic books are fucking weird.
But
yeah, I don't think it like ruins
It doesn't.
Iron Man at all or Tony Stark at all. Like someone's like this ruins his death. Same thing with Logan. I'm like,
no,
no,
it doesn't.
Doesn't. No, it doesn't. Like it works in Deadpool because they can make fun of it.
Yeah, and we're not giving anything away. They make fun of it in Deadpool.
Yeah, they make fun of like I think I haven't seen Deadpool, but from what I've heard, it can be a little too self-aware.
That's the Deadpool character.
That's a Deadpool character, though. I mean, I'm gonna if I see him, I'm gonna love it. Like I loved the first Deadpool. I still have to see the other two, but I will watch it because when it comes to Disney Plus, I will watch it.
Yeah. So Taekwon actually has this is actually great comic history. Multiverse happened in comics in general because DC wanted to explain why they rebooted some of their characters like Flash and Green Lantern from the original 40s incarnation. So blame DC for all of this.
Yeah, and no one's ever truly dead in comic books.
That's also a real trope as well. No one is ever truly dead.
That's just how comic books work. No one ever is.
No
truly
one's
dead.
ever truly dead.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I know one of my friends was like, oh, I can't picture him as anybody but Tony Stark. And I go, that's why it's going to work. He's going to be so different from Tony that it's going to shock your system. Like that's a great reason to bring him back.
Although I do think it would be cool if Tony Stark was just evil Iron Man.
That's also a thing. That's happened.
Like, yeah, I know that. I know. But like, if Tony Stark just became Doctor Doom, like, I that wouldn't bother me if it was as much as Robert Downey Jr. playing.
Yeah, there's a
Victor
comic book storyline where Tony and Doctor Doom were like college roommates.
That's pretty cool.
And then like Doctor Doom like stole his mind essentially, or they like switched bodies in a weird comic book way. Comic books are wild, dude.
So
comic
stupid.
books are
So
wild. The X-Men comics are
stupid.
even wilder. Like, the X-Men love to have sex with each other.
They do. I do know that too.
Like, love to.
Roll Tide, dude.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, like Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Wolverine are pretty much a throuple.
Yes.
Like all the time. But it's one of those things. Oh, he said, for example, the OG Green Lantern was a train conductor named Al Scott with a magic ring that came from the lantern. The reboot created Hal Jordan and the space police idea. That's also very true. So yeah, you reboot it all the time. Like the original Captain America, like died a couple of times, and the whole him on ice thing was a storyline later on, in a way to reboot him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
in a way to bring in the modern.
Yeah,
day.
a way to bring in the modern day. That happens all the time. So that's just comic books for you. It kind of works out. The multiverse gives them a lot of like leeway to do things like that. And
yeah, it's still a lazy. It's just still a lazy trope.
Because also they're bringing in the Fantastic Four, and Doctor Doom's the big villain of the Fantastic Four for the most part. And
right, but if everything exists in a multiverse and everything is possible all the time, everything everywhere all at once, then nothing matters.
It depends on how they keep the continuity of a 616. So like you can bring in other characters from other universes, like what they did with Spider-Man No Way Home, and then they like disappear.
Yeah.
It's almost like doing these kind of weird cameos, and like you kind of get the lore of like what they were doing in their universe. but they don't stay in the universe. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
interesting because it gives you a lot of possibilities, but then it doesn't. But then it also, it's almost like too many possibilities can happen.
Yeah, but then they can also just retcon and whatever they want
Yeah.
and just be like, we can just write whatever we want, no matter what. It doesn't have to make sense. It's just multiverse.
That is always a possibility, but that's also comics.
Yeah, but that's just lazy story writing.
But I think they've been doing a great job so far of just keeping the continuity and having a reason for everything.
Have they though?
So far, there's a lot of threads that need to be answered so far in the multiverse saga of the MCU, but I think it's all going to come together by Doomsday, which is what it's going to be named. It's Avengers Doomsday. So like the thing with the multiverse saga is that's not supposed to make sense from the jump. Like when we were watching the Infinity Saga, like the first 10 years, the Iron Man's account, like it all was like it's leading to something. It's like it's kind of like a linear path per se, but in multiverse, it's not supposed to be linear on purpose. And then at some point you connect the dots.
Yeah.
It's gonna connect.
Just tell a good story. Just tell one good story.
That's the thing with the
at a
multiverse
time.
saga. The story's not the
Right? In the same universe.
Well, that's the thing.
Like, if you want to have everything connected, it should all be in the same universe.
It is all in the same universe.
Then nothing
It is all in
matters.
the same universe.
But if it's all connected, it's just like, well, who cares? It's infinite.
What's up?
It's no stakes. It's no stakes.
There's always things.
If everything's infinite, yeah, but if you fuck up, you can just go to a different universe, or you can just do a different universe.
You have to be aware
You
that
can
there's
watch a different
You
universe.
have to be aware that there's a different universe too. Every issue is just every comic fan's complaint from decades ago.
Yeah. It's just lazy. It's bad storytelling.
I don't know if it's lazy. It depends. It's lazy if they try to connect and give a reason for it. You can just be like, oh, this is what happened on this universe. Like multiverse gives a lot of creativity. But
if it gets okay, fine. But if it gets too convoluted and doesn't make any sense, they can just go, well, multiverse. And you go, oh, okay.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's possible. It depends on like I said. It depends on like MCU's been pretty staunch on being the 616, and now they're discovering alternate universes. Now it's a matter of do these universes collide? Do they exchange information from different universes? It's going to be interesting what they do when all the heroes become aware that there's a different universe.
Too many universes, man.
Oh, you
Too
have
many
no
universes.
idea. You have no.
That's what I mean. It's too many.
You have no idea.
It's like so like nothing matters then. It's like if you kill Doctor Doom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. He's just Tony Stark over here. Doesn't matter. He's just Doctor Doom from this universe. He's just Doctor Doom from this movie. Like it doesn't matter. Like, I saw a meme the other day. It's like, you only comic book character who's ever dead, whoever stays dead is Uncle Ben.
That's true though.
But it is true. But that's why his death is one of the most meaningful deaths in comic books. Because he doesn't come back. His death means
I will
something.
say this: they did set up some sort of order for multiverses, in Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't tell you what it is, but they entered a vocabulary into the lexicon that will help with the issue that you're talking about moving forward.
Like if Wolverine showed up in the next Spider-Man No Way Home movie or whatever with Tom Holland and Zendaya, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, no, he died, right? He's dead. He died in Logan. Like, he's dead. Don't bring him back. Unless it's something for a Deadpool where it's it's a joke on itself and it's self-aware. I think that Hugh Jackman coming back for Deadpool is hilarious and it's perfect.
Well, they explain all of that too.
Like if he came back in his serious role, it's just like, well, he died. You telling me that meant nothing?
Well,
that's what you're telling me. It meant nothing.
If you watch Deadpool and Wolverine, they answer that question for you about how they did it, or about that the whole multiverse thing. It's a very creative way of doing it.
I guess I'll just say.
Also, again, good point by Declan. As a comic reader, retcons is typically what happens when a new writer takes over a series and decides what they want to keep from the previous writer, so on and so forth.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's true. But
Spider-Man's been around since what, the 30s? So you can't have all new stories for 70 years unless you're the Simpsons.
the Spider-Man story is kind of weird because like when Stan Lee and Steve Ditko and them wrote Spider-Man, like no one thought it was gonna work. So he put in like a mini comic in like it was like behind like a Fantastic Four comic. It was like an extra story that they added or some shit, and then it just started selling, essentially. Because they weren't going to make it its own series. I was like, all right, we'll just do this one and see what happens. So, but yeah, no, Deadpool answers a lot of those questions in the thing. Deadpool's also flipping hysterical. like he is so self-aware. Did you see the trailer when they talked about the different things of cocaine?
No, I didn't see
So
any
there's-
trailer. I heard the trailers give away a lot of the cameos.
No, it does not. It does not give away a lot of cameos. So in one of its initial trailers, you remember the blind woman from the first movie?
Mm-hmm.
And so in one of her trailers, she's like, "You want to do cocaine?" And she's like, "What the?" And Deadpool's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "That's the one thing Kevin Feige said was off limits." He's like, "We can't." And so they go through all these different names for cocaine. And then the last one was, "Do you want to build a snowman?" And he goes, "Yes, I do, but I can't."
I can't.
Yeah, no, they did not give away all of the cameos in that. But I actually finagled my way into seeing it again. So
Amazing.
yeah, no, listen to this. So my company randomly once a year has ice cream day where they rent an ice cream truck and they go to, or they use an ice cream truck company and they go to all of our office buildings and give us free ice cream.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and so even though I'm like a remote worker,
you can still go.
I still have an office designation. Put it that way.
Okay.
Like if I needed like hotel at an office or something, like if I needed to be in the office or something, I know what office I need to go to.
Right.
Type
Right.
deal. So like it's still open to us. So one of my coworkers, she was like, "Hey, ice cream day's coming up." He's like, "How about we go?" He's like, "How about we all go see Deadpool and Wolverine and then go get ice cream?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, let's do it." My boss is like, "I'll pay for it." So
Nice.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, "Wow, the entire department's gonna go see Deadpool and Wolverine, and then we're gonna go get ice cream, and none of us are paying a dime for it." So it's essentially our team building activity for every year. We go see a movie. That's how I saw the Barbie movie last year. And the great part about it is that like I use my AMC rewards card, so I get all the points, and she just reimbursed me.
Mm-hmm.
So I get all the rewards points for buying five tickets, and I get it, and I get reimbursed the money that I spent, and I get whatever reward points I get from AMC. But Fretz actually saw Deadpool and Wolverine. It doesn't give away. He was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. It's Deadpool and Wolverine is such a wild movie. It's
I'm definitely gonna see it eventually.
I will.
We went and saw Twisters last.
How
week.
was that, by the way? I was kind of intrigued by it. How was it?
Did you see the first
Yeah.
one? Did you like the first one?
It was all right. It was just a summer blockbuster.
Yeah, it's Twisters is the exact.
Is there a
same.
cow going in the air again?
I don't think so.
So remember that was a big
But
thing.
so what Twisters does, it follows very similar tropes to the first
Yeah.
one, right? And it kind of has a lot of homages to the first one, but character roles shift and they do different things. Like there's different motivations for different characters, different backstories, but it follows the same beats and the same tropes and the same patterns as the first one. So if you enjoyed the first one or you thought it was you'll feel the exact same way about Twisters. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid 6.5 out of 7. A 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's just it's a computer graphics blockbuster.
Yeah,
Movie.
I mean the Twister scenes though are really cool. They're really well done.
I could imagine with the technology they have now.
Yeah, but the whole science-y part is just like what?
I'm lost.
Yeah, there's a science like this wouldn't work.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I'm excited to see Deadpool and Wolverine again, just to catch anything I missed. There's a lot of stuff in Deadpool and Wolverine. Like he makes a lot of great jokes, and I will say it is one of the best. It's one of the best intros I've ever seen. It's one of the funniest intros I've ever seen. Like you know how Marvel has like that opener stinger where it's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
He hums it. He starts humming it.
Good.
He's like, finally I made it. It's like, you know how long it took me to get here?
Was it Deadpool 2
Yeah.
where Ryan Reynolds breaks the fourth wall and goes, Nickelback is fucking awesome.
No, and I don't remember him doing a Nickelback joke in any of the Deadpool movies.
Because there is a Ryan Reynolds movie where he's talking to they redo the Princess Bride bit.
Yeah.
And it's Ryan Reynolds reading to the adult actor, the kid who played in Princess Bride.
I know. That was like the Deadpool, like Christmas special of Deadpool 2. Yeah.
Okay,
I know what
so
you're talking
Christmas,
about.
Christmas special. Yeah, because he keeps saying like it's bad like Nickelback, and Ryan Reynolds just thought the movie just goes, well, you got stop that, and then eventually he just goes, all right, we all have to admit Nickelback is fucking awesome. He looks dead into the camera and goes and lists off all their rewards and all their accolades and like how they're the fourth highest grossing band ever, and he's just defending them because they're both Canadian. So like it's stuff like that. It's bits like that. I'm just like, dude, the ability to keep that bit going.
It's great. The great thing about Deadpool is technically a Canadian character too, so it works out.
Yeah. Like, did you know Deadpool had a PS3 video game in like 2014?
I'm not surprised by that.
I never played it, but sure.
So you know how Disneyland has Avengers Campus, like their theme park?
Yeah.
So every time a new character debuts in the MCU, they have somebody play that character in the park. So like when the character Moon Knight debuted, he showed up at Avengers Campus. So Deadpool debuted this past weekend, and he showed up on Avengers Campus, riding an inflatable unicorn.
That's incredible.
Apparently, he made a grinder joke too.
Also incredible.
I was like, wow, we're really going in on this.
I hope he makes a Val Venus joke next.
He might. You never know with you never know with Deadpool. Yeah, no.
All right, Yankees take the lead in the 11th.
Oh, we went to extras.
Yeah, dude, this fucking game is terrible. Yankees are killing it, dude. They gotta get rid of Cashman. And they should probably fire Boone too. Which is crazy to say when they're a game out of first place.
Who's in first now?
More.
Yeah. Of course, Fretz would see the Deadpool game. We'll play the Deadpool game.
I bet it's fun as fuck. Or Yankees are a half game out. I bet it's fun as fuck.
Oh, so Fretz is saying there's a reverse of that where Nickelback defends Ryan Reynolds.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, it's because Ryan Reynolds was known as
he's a rom-com guy for a while.
Yeah, he was typecast, and his career coming down to shitter. He became a joke, and then he literally played Deadpool, and then his career just turned it a complete 180.
Which is hysterical because, like, did you ever see X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Yeah, it's honestly the movie gets a bad rap, but they do Deadpool very dirty.
Yeah, that's what started his obsession with getting Deadpool right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I rewatched and I was like, actually, this is the same Deadpool character that Ryan Reynolds played in this movie. Like he just looks comic accurate. Yeah, he just couldn't talk.
Yeah, just couldn't talk. Really dumb.
Yeah, no, he talked a lot, but they sealed his lips at the end.
And the fans all wanted him to be Deadpool too, because they knew we all knew he'd be good.
Well,
at
he did the TV, he did them dirty. So he started lobbying online. And then he got like Fox or something to do test footage of him playing it.
Oh my god!
And then he leaked the test footage himself.
He leaked it.
Yeah,
they leaked it. Oh my god!
He leaked it on purpose.
Dude, respect, dude. That's playing in the gray, but respect because it fucking worked.
And now they said Deadpool and Wolverine is the highest grossing opening weekend box office for an R-rated film.
R-rated R movie.
Six highest all time, 480 mil.
And it beat the first Deadpool? No, Joker. It beat Joker.
It beat Joker probably, yeah.
Joker was the highest. It's the highest rated R-rated movie ever, which is wild. Also, did you see that trailer?
Yo,
that second one?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna love how I think the movie's just gonna be. It's obviously you don't know what's real, but it's just a joke. You're living in the Joker's world. The universe is Joker's world, and you're gonna go back and forth between reality and what he thinks is happening.
Which is kind of what they did in the first one, just not as much.
But they didn't really tell you about it though. They didn't. That was a twist.
Yeah, you didn't know until like the end, and
And this one's just gonna be a little more
delusional,
bombastic.
Yeah,
bombastic.
It's gonna be part musical because you have Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn, which I was like, this is hysterical.
Which I think she's gonna nail.
Oh, I think she is too.
I think she's
it's an interesting rendition of Harley Quinn because I've seen Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is fucking amazing.
Excellent.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is going to be obviously a completely different rendition of Harley Quinn. Because in the comics, essentially, or in DC, in the comics in DC is that Harley Quinn was Joker's psychiatrist in Arkham.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
Joker,
And
turns
Joker
her.
just gaslights her and turns her,
But now,
which is such a great story.
yeah, which I was like, this is great for a movie, but they're not going that route. It looks like Harley Quinn is an inmate in Arkham, and they fall in love and go on a murder's rampage. Which is also a great story.
She's gonna be an inmate too.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see. I can fuck with
That's
that
what I
twist.
got from a trailer, that she's also in Arkham as like an inmate.
So it's fair. Do you think it's fair to say that this Joker universe is separate from like the Dark Knight universe?
They've said that much.
So, okay, so why that works is because it's a different actor.
Yes.
Like if you're gonna do different universe things, just use a different actor, because it's like the fact that what's her name is there's two Harley Quinns.
Yes.
That's fine, because if it's two different universes, two different actresses, it's two different characters. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
That actually makes way more sense.
I understand what you're saying. You know, that makes all the sense in the world. So I'm interested to see Lady Gaga's rendition of Harley Quinn and how it plays with Joaquin Phoenix.
Hell yeah.
Because I remember watching the first Joker and I'm like, this is amazing. This is an amazing
incredible
film.
Dude, I was like, I lived in Hoboken pretty much by myself at the time. I went and saw that movie by myself. Yeah, I left just going, I shouldn't be alone. I left the theater going, I should not have seen that by myself. I need to call someone and tell them I love them.
You know what sold that movie for me besides Joaquin Phoenix's unbelievable acting job? For that.
Yes.
It was his back and forth with De Niro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, De Niro was so good too.
He just shot the shit out of him.
And it was a really good twist, because throughout that whole movie, you should have been going, how the hell is he dating her?
That's true.
But somehow they pulled off this go like, yeah, this relationship's actually
seems
cute.
It seems nice.
Yeah. This is okay, good for him. What's gonna make him turn? Oh.
Okay.
Because I was of the belief that Joker didn't need a background story because he never had one. And that was that was his story. No one knows truly what it is. And honestly, he doesn't really know what it is. And that kind of gets reflected in that movie.
Yeah, so
you still don't really know if that's the true background.
Or what it is,
Yeah. You don't know what's real.
Yeah.
It's fantastic storytelling.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's so good. I'm very excited. That comes out, I think, early October. It's like right before Comic-Con.
Yeah. And it's gonna be fucking wild.
A lot of Deadpools, a lot of Jokers, a lot of Spider-Man at Comic-Con this year.
Comic book movies can be bombastic comedies, or they can be tight-knit, Oscar-worthy dramas.
Yeah. No, but
all from fucking comic book characters. It's nuts.
There's a lot of story you can pull from comic books from any era. Comic books is a good experiment ground for a lot of random shit.
As fucking ridiculous as some of that bullshit is, they also
when you get it, you get it. Yeah, there are some iconic storylines where people are like, this is nuts. So there's
some really the Uncle Ben storyline. It's
the only person that dies.
He's the only person that stays bad.
There's a lot of weird Deadpool ones. Like there's a whole run where it's like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. He just takes everybody out. Because Deadpool's actually clinically insane. Oh well, no, he turns insane in the comics.
And he could totally be a bad guy.
He's very he does whatever the hell he wants and no one can tell him what to do.
Yeah, it's like the Riddler and the Joker.
And just loves to break the fourth wall, just for shits and gigs.
God, that is such a terrifying thought. The Riddler mixed with the Joker.
Deadpool versus the dead presidents. Again.
My father made Mad Libs.
God,
and he was a drinker.
God, Heath Ledger. Did you ever hear a story about Heath Ledger? Like, Heath Ledger stayed in character a lot on set.
Yeah, he was a meth addict. The role literally killed him.
Which is what Jack Nicholson said, hey, don't do this. Get out of character when you can. But no, did you see remember the scene in Dark Knight where he goes up when he accosts Maggie Gyllenhaal in
Yeah.
the Rachel,
Yeah.
in the party. A lot of that's an ad lib.
Yeah, a lot of it's ad-libbed. And
She didn't know what was going
She was
on.
waiting for the cut.
Yeah.
She was waiting for the cut.
And he was just like, nope, keep going.
No one was just like, what do you mean, roll with it? Do you see this
Yeah,
shit? Fucking
you
go.
can see in the movie, she looks at the director like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's a real fear in her eyes.
Yeah, it's excellent. He dumps the wine and then drinks out of the glass. Just like, dude.
What is wrong with you? You're brilliant.
Come on, hear me. I want you to hear me. Come on, you gotta hear me. Hear me! He's just so fucking perfect.
Yeah, God. Could you imagine, him if he, like, stayed alive and, like, continued doing the Joker, or his, his rendition of it?
Yeah. It is also another reason why you didn't want a Joker movie. Because you want that wound from Heath Ledger is still kind of fresh as the Joker.
But Joaquin Phoenix
But
did such a
after
different rendition of it. I was like, this is beautiful.
But after they fucked it up for the the Suicide Squad.
Jared Leto wasn't the
they're
worst, but he wasn't the best either.
Wasn't good. Wasn't good.
He was just there.
I mean, granted, you could say it's impossible to be good.
Yeah.
But fucking Joaquin Phoenix was an incredible
Blew
Joker.
everybody away.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. And then you found out he actually lost all of that weight to play that role. I'm like, you're nuts, dude.
Well, dude, that whole family's crazy.
The Phoenix family.
Yeah, like River Phoenix. He
yeah.
He OD'd. Yeah. He was also really talented.
I remember River Phoenix.
Yeah.
So.
Really talented actor. He OD'd.
Also, if you do see Deadpool and Wolverine, he still has an unbelievable soundtrack.
I bet.
The soundtrack's unreal. And there are a lot of pretty wild cameos, especially if you're like a comic book and a Marvel movie fan from like years. You will love it. And Ryan Reynolds is just great at he'll break fourth wall within the dialogue of the movie. It's like he'll be talking to somebody, but he'll say something like, he said something like, he'll mention like Disney or something like that in conversation, talking to another character.
It's like that's hard too, because like you're breaking character and then getting right back into character.
Mm-hmm.
Just snapping in and out of character.
But he'll say it as Deadpool talking, but he'll be talking to another character, but he's actually talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
And things like he mentioned one cameo. It's like, what the fuck did you do? It's like, he's costing us a lot of money anyways. And shit like that. So, yeah, no. You'll enjoy it. But anyway, let me get out of here.
I'll get this uploaded tomorrow before I go.
Perfect. All right, guys, we are getting out of here. Thanks for joining us, Frets, and all that hot stuff. We will see you soon. Bye.
Later, players.
Midnight music.